All right, we are live. Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson. Can everybody hear me all right? That's the first thing. Woody, can you hear me? I don't have earbuds on. I'm using my phone. There's an airplane flying over right now. Or maybe it's a drone. Good. Yeah, I want to see who's all here. It's been a while. John Galt. Okay. I'm not sure if I know you, John Galt. Starbot. Star, what's happening? Asvaroon. Of course, I'm sure Uncle Guns is popping in and out. Self-Made was in the chat. Daniel Romano. What's happening, buddy? Probably can hear that airplane going over. That's it. We're just chilling tonight, man. And just kind of checking in with everybody. That's all. I wonder if that was a drone or an airplane. Yeah, so this is a chimnea. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. It was in the thumbnail. It looks like a tiki. I actually drilled the eyeballs out with a masonry bit, so it looks kind of cool when it's burning at night. So I hope everybody's going to have a nice Christmas with family or whatever you do. Boy, it's a noisy night here. Yeah, so I guess I can drop the link if somebody wants to come on and chat, or you just want to stare at the fire, man. That's fine. It's always a nice sound. I've got a bunch of pallets that I cut up that I use for firewood. Of course, I'm a carpenter, so I've got a bunch of scraps. Of course, we don't burn pressure treated wood. I know some people do. It's like the worst thing you can do. So, also, I've got a piece of copper. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you put a piece of copper or a copper pipe in the fire, I'm going to try to grab it. Hopefully, it's not too hot yet. No, it's not. So you actually get some cool colors that come from the copper. The copper will give you like blues and reds and all sorts of colors. And I am having eggnog tonight. It is, I don't know if you can see that, but it's Evan Williams eggnog. Which is eggnog with some whiskey. You can see I don't subscribe to StreamYard anymore because I haven't done any live streams in a long time. I just couldn't see paying them 20, 25 a month or whatever it is just to have it. So Daniel says he's wrapping gifts. Nice. I know a lot of people shop online. That's what I do. Amazon, Omaha Steaks, things like that. And, locally, I think it's most people, you just get a bottle of wine or a bottle of liquor or something. That's what people really like, I think, a lot. I know I enjoy getting a bottle of wine or things like that. So I am curious, man. I've got a couple things I wanted to talk about. One thing was about the drones. Smash TV roast tomorrow. All right, QB, what's happening? Everything's good, man. It's funny you say that. It's just funny you say that because I've got a few things that are going in the fire tonight right out here. I don't know if you can see that, but no, wait. Oh, that's right. I got a flashlight. But we got a couple things that are going in the fire tonight. That's one of them. Here's another one that's going in the fire tonight. So I've got some good fire here tonight. Got some good kindling. Woody. Oh, geez. Daniel says orbs or drones, UFOs or Project Bluebeam. I'm open to all of it. Well, I saw a couple different things. Let me throw some more wood on the fire here. Like I said, these are all pallets that are cut up. They make great firewood because it's all hardwood. It's either like a hard yellow pine or oak. Yeah, so the drones, I saw one thing. I don't know how true that is, everything, because if you see it on the internet, it has to be true, of course. But I see that some people are saying that they're actually looking for like missing nuclear weapons. So they're looking for, I guess, kind of a, I don't know what you call it, a nuclear sign, I guess. And there's special drones that actually look for a nuclear signature or radiation. So that's another possibility. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that. Let me see if I can. If somebody wants, if you want to come on, just holler. I think. Jesus, I'm doing this on my phone, so I'm not really used to it. So invite guests, copy. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to do this. So if somebody can drop the link, I know it's in the chat. If you want to drop the link to join the panel and jump on, I think I can have 6 people total. So if you just want to shoot the shit a little, talk about some of these topics. I want to give a shout out to Pat Stedman. Of course, he's out of the federal penitentiary. He got time served. I think originally he got 4 years, and I think with the Supreme Court rulings, they dropped all the other charges. So Pat's out, and hopefully I'll have him on here sometime in the near future. I really want to talk about his time that he did. It was in Fort Dix. His emails, I think, were really good. I was really kind of enthralled in his emails. Couldn't wait to get them just because number one, he's a good writer, and it's kind of cool to um, just 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 kind of see what's up when he was in there. You know, yeah, that fire's burning now. In fact, I don't even know, like on my phone here, like if somebody wants to come on, it's a little different than on my laptop. If somebody wants to come on, I'm not sure if there's a backstage or what. I'm afraid to hit the wrong button here. All right, it says guest. Oh, there we go. All right, it's Bandit. All right, well, bring him on. I think I just touch it. Add to stage.
What's going on, Tony? How you been?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Not bad, man. Just been a good year, and I haven't done anything in such a long time. I just thought I'd, one of the nicest things when it gets cool here in Florida, it's like 52 out. It's not exactly cold to other people, you know, in the U.S., but it's chilly enough to have a fire. 52 is like perfect. Oh, look.
Yeah.
Peg Bell. Hey, Peg. How you doing? So,
Well, if you're in the Tampa area, my friend lived out there, and I went to visit him. Yeah, it could be 60 and damp, and it's still pretty chilly. So
yeah.
it makes sense. It snowed here. I'm outside Philly, so yeah, we got about 3 inches of snow out there.
You know, both my brothers live there, right?
Oh, nice. Where at?
Mm-hmm. They're around like King of Prussia area.
I'm in I won't dox my stuff too much, but King of Prussia is only like 25-minute drive for me.
Yeah. Collegeville area.
I used to live in Collegeville.
Yeah, Collegeville and Plymouth Meeting.
I'm all right around there, so I know exactly where all that's at. I work in right out in Oaks, so that's like in between everything.
That's where both my brothers are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How ironic.
And my younger brother just sent me a picture. It looks like he's got snow.
Yeah, they got about 3 inches of snow last night.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice. Yeah, I like the cool weather. I really do. In fact, I've been looking at places not really far north, but I've been looking at places in northwest Arkansas.
Okay.
Around the Ozarks.
Oh, nice.
And I can tell you that it's just crazy the amount of land and house that you can get for like half of what I can sell my house for.
I know it is nuts. There's if you're looking for land, have you ever heard the website landandfarm.com?
What is it called?
Landandfarm.com. It's
no.
all one. It basically lists like as much land as you want that's open on the market. Like we're talking hundreds of acres that you can buy.
Well, so I'm seeing my dream place it's a beautiful house. It's actually too much house for me, but it's just under $1 million.
Oh, nice.
And it's 1,200 acres.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but some of the places I found one place I really like. It's 2 houses with a guest house. They're about 5 years old. It's on 40 acres. They're asking $375. There's a barn. It's all metal buildings. It's beautiful. They call them barn dominiums. And it's just gorgeous. 40 acres, a pond, chicken coop, barn that's 30 by 40. And
nice.
The house, the 2-bedroom house is beautiful. The guest house is beautiful. I've been showing it to my mom and dad. And the asking price is $375. It's around, there's a couple towns called Mountain View, Mountain Home, and then Yellville is the area I really like.
Okay. So I just loaded the website.
40 acres, 40 acres, 2 houses, a barn, a chicken coop, all beautiful for asking $375. I mean,
that's insanely cheap.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to do this up there, have a big fire pit. And, I'd like to just you know, blast my AR off the back porch with some steel targets, a couple hundred yards down the line. So
Nice. I just sent you a link if you want to look into it. If you want to look up all the land available and what they're charging for. Yeah, I mean, this one's just land. It's 160 acres for 469,000. I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy.
I want a house and land.
Oh,
My
I know.
minimum, I want a minimum of like 30, 40 acres.
All right, well, let me see what I can do.
You know, and I really like that. I really like that northwest corner of Arkansas.
Okay, so I'm going to put the region as Ozarks, and we'll do we'll do 51 to 100 acres. Let's see what comes up.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just think the land is what you get, like
Mm-hmm.
if something like that near me, I mean, I've got a lot. Like I said, I'm just across the street from the beach, and my lot is like, I think it's like 70 by 120. It's not
Yeah.
huge, but I've got a good sized backyard,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And it's a small house, it's 1,200 square feet, 3 bedrooms. I've got a detached garage. I kind of like a compound because, like, when
Nice.
I pull in, my driveway gate, everything is toward the front of the house, and the
Mm-hmm.
house is more toward the street, which is
Okay.
fine, which gives me a bigger backyard. But I've
Mm-hmm.
got, tiki huts back here. This is the fire pit area. I've got right next to me, I've got an outdoor bathroom, full bathroom outside here. So I guess you could call it an outhouse.
Nice. That's
You know,
awesome.
not really an outhouse because there's running water. So
I found one for you. It's in Leslie, Arkansas. 574,069 acres. The house is 2,688 square feet. Three
yeah,
bedroom, two full baths.
yeah, that's a little
And
big, man. That's for me. That's a little big. You know.
it's on a lake. So you have
Yeah,
your own personal water source.
I found one that's surrounded by water on 3 sides. It's 75 acres. The house is cool as hell. It's a cabin. It's in that
Mm-hmm.
same area I was just talking about, and they're asking 405,
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
and
I
that's
mean, it's crazy.
75 acres.
I know. That's so crazy.
I'd like to have like a nice ATV or a couple of them, and
Oh,
just
yeah. You get a gator.
yeah.
Here's the one I was looking at for you. So you have a reference. All
As
right.
Varun, how are you?
Oh, fine, Tony. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
been about a year.
yeah,
How's everything with you?
fine, fine, fine.
Good. Everything? Anything
Yeah,
new? Did
nothing, nothing.
you get married?
No.
Oh, that seems to be the going trend. You get married? Nah.
Yeah, so many want to stay single only now.
Yeah. Single is nice, man. It is, and I just think that the marriage construct in America it's just not equal, you
Oh, it's
know. So,
I can't agree more.
I don't think there's anything wrong with cohabitating or even having a marriage ceremony, but I think legal marriage
Mm.
um, just is not, I don't think it's needed. You know,
Yeah,
if you're a Christian guy, get married in front of a preacher, you know, or whatever religion you are. Why does the state have to be involved? You know, and I'm no, crazy MGTOW or any of that crap. In fact, I've really I have just stayed away from anything manosphere, just anything. I just, I think that it's become a complete shit show and a mess. I do think there are some genuine people out there for sure. And one of the things is, I look at it this way too. Like when people pay for something, know the value you're getting when you're dealing with anybody in the manosphere. Know the value and know that when you put dollars out there, research and use your brain, use your common sense. And I don't want to take away from any guy that's going through hell, because I think most every guy, anywhere, even in your early 20s, a lot of guys have been through hell, but I just think that, I don't know. I guess I want to get away from just coming down on people. We all know who the scammers are, and and there's sects and cults and all that shit, and people can say, oh no, it's not, but it's like, follow my ideology. This is the one that works. And it's like, nah,
No,
not really. Use your own fucking brain,
I just wish people viewed marriage to the point where, as awesome as they feel like they get into the marriage, they set up a plan for when it dissolves. Like, there's got to be a better way of divvying up assets when things go south.
Yeah.
Without rewarding the party that wants to leave.
Yeah. Well, everything is just pushed toward the woman. That's
yeah.
I mean, it's just plain and simple, And my whole thing is, I've taken a year off to think about everything, and I literally haven't watched anything. Well, I don't say watched anything. I've watched my friends. There's certain people I actually enjoy watching occasionally. I like QB Willie's stream. I always get a kick out of his stream. He gets so fired up, but he's QB is like, he's one of the guys that's actually like living the life he portrays. You know what I mean? He doesn't really hide anything. And I'm not saying, passport bros and everything, that's the only way, stuff like that. But if that works for him, that's great.
Yeah, I talked to him about ways of, like, in the past, to protect himself, because especially when you go to foreign countries, like to me, like, I don't know, I'm throwing out like the buddy system in a sense. Like, you shouldn't be like going to a random, if you're especially meeting the girl for the first time, you should have like someone at the bar that's watching your back for like drinks and all this other.
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
that's the thing is too. I don't think. Do you have to meet when you go to a foreign country in clubs and bars?
Yeah, I agree with you.
I consider myself like one of the OG passport bros. And let me tell you something. I've traveled to Central American countries, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all those places surfing. And when you meet women, it was a whole different thing. You're not in a club. You're on the beach. That's a whole different dynamic than a club.
Clubs.
So it might be a little more organic.
Yeah, clubs are the worst place to meet people. I would say the best place is a park.
Yeah, things like that. But there's also a lot of guys that don't have any conversation skills. And there are guys that come off creepy, but that's just, a lot of that has to do with, to me, like, oh, this guy's creepy, that guy's creepy, and it's like, nah, a lot of it has to do with social media, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's one thing I think a lot of guys should say on their YouTube channels, in my opinion. It's not just because somebody has a channel, don't take their advice for gospel.
I mean, that's one thing that really needs to be discussed about. Like, everybody's putting a lot of interest into these anecdotal situations. Not saying these anecdotal situations are awesome. Most of them are horrific, but everybody's like skewing their experience and throwing on themselves, and not even like trying to get themselves out there. I'm not saying take a lot of risks, but we can be smart about it here.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. But I do think the
echo chambers are getting pretty bad at this point.
Yeah. I do think the passport bros have a good idea. I haven't watched much. I'll be honest. Probably the only one I really ever watched is QB. You know,
Mhm.
and he's having a hell of a time, man.
I've no. I mean,
I can tell he genuinely enjoys his life, and that's cool. And that to me should be, if you're into the passport bro thing, that's a good guy to check out. And I don't I don't always agree with the you know me and my brothers go back and forth. Oh, you know, you have this woman that looks like Jabba the Hutt. I want a guy that's 6 foot, six pack, makes six figures, and has a six house, 6 room house and stuff like that. It's like
yeah, like
that's
impossible
that's.
standards.
I'm sorry, that's not reality, man.
Well, what
That's a social media construct too, right there.
I think it's social media, but also I think it's also a sign of like we're heading into bad times, because if you think about why are they demanding such high things when that was never demanded in the past, is because they don't feel secure enough to be with the average guy. And I know social media is
They ain't
blowing that
getting.
out.
First of all, most of those women are not even getting the average guy.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
If they are, they're getting. It's a. I think it was hold the truth hostage. I think he used to say it's kind of funny, man. It's they're getting the guy on a slow Tuesday, you know, but they ain't getting that guy on a Friday night or Saturday night. It's just a fact.
Yeah, and the whole status, this whole status of a relationship, like honestly, who gives a shit? Like
Yeah.
like if I find out like someone that I'm interested in starts throwing me around like a status symbol, like I'm a lapdog, we're done. Like
Mhm.
I have no tolerance for that kind of crap.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think one of the main things is women will say, "Oh, I established my boundaries." Well, men need to establish their boundaries.
But we're not allowed to have standards. Just remember
Oh
that.
yeah, no, you are. That's the
Oh,
problem.
I'm saying I'm being facetious.
Oh, I
Like
know,
we're
but that's what I'm saying. You are, you know, and I've said this a million times, man. Walking away is a superpower.
it is.
Walking away, you know. So men and women, and the funny part is men and women always want something they can't have, and it's not a game. It's not a game that you're playing. You know, it's just have enough balls just to walk away. That to me that's key.
Well, the thing is, I think on a global scale, not macro sense, not micro sense, I think women have the abundant mindset and men don't. I think those roles have switched in society, and we're seeing the repercussions of that. Because if men had the idea en masse that, I can do better, OnlyFans girls wouldn't be a thing. Like this whole 666 thing wouldn't be a thing. But women seem to just have the standard, and then guys just go with it.
Yeah, and the reality is, I know it's cliche, but they end up, drinking box wine and eating
Yeah.
cat food, or
Oh, we
living
know.
eating fucking cats, and that is a reality, you know.
Hmm. I agree. It's just they don't
And
realize
and
it.
another thing too is that one of the things that like when I kind of dove into the whole black pill, and there's so many versions of the black pill, like there is in the red pill. So, but to me, one of the easiest things that everybody can do is what they call looks matching. And I've really had to go down that rabbit hole. And that's just a fact. I've said this a million times too. How many times you've gone into Walmart and you see the big fat lady with the big fat guy, and they're happy as hell together, man.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. As
Yeah,
long as you have
there's literally
realistic
nothing
standards.
wrong with it.
Yeah, as long as you have realistic standards, like,
Yeah.
and it's both sides, men and women. Like,
Hmm.
if you're 300 pounds and you're expecting a 90-pound girlfriend, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, you see it
And,
occasionally, but usually that's
yeah,
because
I'm
the guy has a lot of money, and
yeah,
that
of
does make
course.
a difference.
But then the first example of you losing money, your relationship's done. So you're
Hmm.
or she finds something better.
Yeah,
Because that's not there for true love. That's just there for
yeah, yeah. And I mean, there is, there is that word love too. That's a tough one, man.
oh, I
You know,
know.
it really is. That's a tough one. I don't care what anybody says. When you drop that love bomb word, man, you're,
Yeah, the relationship's never going to be the same. I'll tell you
whew,
that.
yeah, yeah. I think if guys would learn to let the woman say it first, and then just say, "Oh, that's nice."
Ooh,
Well, don't
it's a
just
power
drop it.
move, but yeah,
Don't
you're
just drop it because you have to, you know.
and
But
I think that's half of it. I mean, we've shown who the more forgiving of the group is, and it's not the women.
no. But this is the one thing in the manosphere that they don't talk about, and it's real simple, is that there's nothing like the company of a good woman. Plain and simple.
Yeah, it's just finding that good woman.
Just company. It could be a date, but company of a good woman that you just chill and have a good time. It's not all about sex. It's not all about
Oh,
that. But I don't care if
sex
it's
is
making dinner.
complicated.
Yeah, just And anybody that says that's not true, you know, if you're just out trying to rack up a body count, that's a different story.
And even though that's a shallow existence in itself.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not. I mean, notches on a belt. I mean, that's
But
not going to end well.
there are some guys that need to do that. Like, I think some people will disagree with me, but like when a guy's going through a breakup, you know, go and smash your way out of it. You're gonna, the first girl you're with after a shitty breakup, you're gonna realize, wow, what was I even thinking? You know, and that's from experience. I'm telling you that out of experience.
Yeah, as long as you don't stay in that phase for forever. Like,
Yeah,
if it's a quick couple months, get you out of the funk, and then you're back on. Your self esteem's back up, and all that. That I don't see that being a problem.
that's one of my biggest problems with manosphere content is I had kind of coined this phrase a long time ago, but a lot of manosphere creators want to keep you in what I call a trauma loop.
Yep.
You got to keep coming back to them. You got to keep
Well,
going back to them.
and I also have been coining this when I do streams. It's also that combined with a purity spiral, which no one seems to talk about that end too. Like, if you're not, you know, ex manosphere enough, we need to exile you from the group. So you're extremizing groups because you're getting rid of the sane people on top of keeping you trauma bound.
Yeah,
To me, it's like a two-edged sword, and it normally destroys people.
yeah. It's tough though, man. I mean, there's guys that take breakups bad. I've taken a breakup pretty bad, probably twice in my life, and I'm not gonna say it's not bad compared to what I've seen. You know, I mean, I'm like the 1 week guy, and that's it. It's over. Crying your beer for a week, get it out of your system, and then just start tearing up the town. You know,
I think a lot of people, they just need that good friend to just say, like, look, it's gonna suck, but it's
yeah,
also gonna get a lot better.
yeah,
And I think a lot of these people are just loners, and they don't have the help, and then these groups are just monetizing their way to use people.
yeah.
Like, like the
Oh, look,
like
my brother's here. What's up, George? Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, dude, it's I don't know. It's some guys just take it super hard, And you can't trivialize a guy that's in a fucking hole. You can't do it. You know,
Agreed.
let me tell you something from personal. I've got tear up to town. I've got I've got some friends of mine. Okay, I don't give advice. Like I said, I give support, but I'm gonna give some advice now. And this goes. I don't think this goes both ways. And people can say, "Oh, misogynist." I'm like, whatever. But when your woman cheats on you, never, ever, ever, ever take her back.
Nope.
And I've got two friends of mine that like that exact things happened, and they are both back with the woman. And these were not just like one got married and the other one was married, and it's like, dude, like have a little self-respect.
Well, it's
I
self-respect,
mean,
and
I couldn't imagine, like, think about this. This is what I think about. Like, a woman cheats on you.
Mhm.
Now you get back together with her. You're having a nice evening and you give her a kiss. All I would think about is a sausage in her mouth.
yeah. Well, or what is she doing for that guy that she'll never do for me?
Yeah.
That's the other thing that creeps in your head.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Now I say two. Now I got three that I can, and I've got one friend of mine. He looks beat to hell.
Well,
I,
he needs a self-esteem boost because
yeah.
I think
I remember his wife saying to me, right here in this backyard, man, saying when she came over to pick him up, he's crying in his drink and everything else. We're sitting out underneath the tiki hut, and she says, "Oh, great, you told everyone." And I'm like, I just, I was just sick
that's
to my
not the answer you
fucking
should be.
stomach.
Dude,
She was
like
worried about her, not
I know,
him.
but that's what I'm saying. Like if it was me, I'd be borderline losing my control because
Yeah,
like especially if you see your friend that hurt and then she's just trivializing without feeling sorrow or a shame. That's the big thing. If you don't show shame for the whole thing, then you're for the streets. You're done. There's no way. I mean, you're done anyways, but like you're a whole level above being done.
yeah, but I don't get it. I've heard, oh, it's for the kids and this and that, and it's like, it'll never be the fucking same. You just, that's a real rough one, man.
It is. And the other thing that's rough about it, it's such a family killer because then it's your kids see it's okay to not at some level not work out on a relationship. So it like destroys your family tree.
Yeah. Well, something like that. When the woman cheats, you got to go.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying the whole
And
situation sucks.
even more if your wife. It's just that simple. I think a lot of guys need to hear that. These are the simple things that I don't think the manosphere tells you. They get into such this deep bullshit, you know, and that
That's because they
I don't
want to
know.
keep them. They want to keep them in the victim
Yeah,
hate group hate level. They don't want you
yeah.
to self actualize or do better. I mean, there should be an area where it Mansfield gives you the knowledge that you need to not let this happen again and keep your eye on things, and then they should just shuffle you along. But they don't. They keep you in that victim, not victim, but that hating, and then you end up being basically a misogynist. You end up hating
I look
women.
at it this way: when that happens to, like I said, a few friends of mine, it's always there, and you're never gonna forget about it.
Yeah. But the thing is to keep these people on edge and angry all the time. That's deliberate too.
Hmm.
Like it's good to get your anger out and then move on, but to keep someone that angry all the time, that's not good.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I've kind of stepped away from it, and
Yeah.
just a bunch of nonsense and people attacking me, and everybody that doesn't agree
Who
with
the
you,
hell's attacking you? You're the
you're
most like
gay. I've had everybody attack me,
you're one of
man.
the most reasonable guys out there. That
Yeah,
makes
but I've had people attack me, you know. So
yeah. Well,
You know?
I'm sorry to hear that. That
Yeah, no, I mean it's that's the way it is. Guys like MD and Hold the Truth Hostage and all these guys who I actually thought were my friends, but I didn't fall into their bullshit, you know. And I'll use the term friend lightly, you know.
frenemy.
No, not really, but at this point, I could give a shit about any of them, you know.
That's fair. Well,
Yeah,
you know, that's when you find out you have true friends or not. When you put them up to a test, and if they fail it, then they're gone.
yeah, you know. But it has to do. It was this whole content creator thing. You know what I mean? Oh, you know this guy or blah blah blah. You know. And then when you dig deep into these guys' past and things that they have put out there, it's like, whoa, like you might want to check your closet, buddy.
Yeah.
And
No
and
one.
it, and it
No one's
was
a saint.
public. I mean, I did a lot of research when people, and I've said this before, not, and people might say, oh no, 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 not everybody has skeletons in their closet. It's just
Yeah.
a fact. Sorry, you know.
Everybody does, but the thing is, not everybody's skeletons are the same though.
No, not at all. My skeleton might be a little, some stupid little thing that I did, but there's other, there's the
Yeah,
skeleton
it's
in
not like
most of the
Harley.
guys, in most of the guys that speak the loudest. I found out their skeletons are the biggest,
Oh,
and
without
you
a doubt.
don't want to cover your fucking tracks,
It's
and I bashed at people. I bashed them pretty fucking hard. I mean, my roasts were, brutal, and but I just kind of look at it. You fucked with the wrong guy. That's all. So, Von Erich. Von Erich, where's your faith? Blessings all. Blessings to you, buddy. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, when it comes to whole, and that's why even tonight, like I'm gonna bust a little bit of balls because I do have a few things, like I said, that are going in the fire tonight, man. And one of them is this right here.
wait, 48 laws of dating. Okay.
Yeah, but well, in fact, we'll fire that one in there right now, just for the hell of it. And this might piss somebody off, but I could give a fuck. I paid for it. There it goes. Oh my God, it's really, is it evil? It's really flaring up.
Do you feel a little better now?
Oh, I got more. I got two more. So, but yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a long time. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I think of your writing in your book. And this is what I think of you. You could say, oh, well, you're holding on to it. Yeah, I am. As Varun,
Yeah, Tony.
what do you think of that? 48 Laws of Dating, just burning up, man. It's good kindling.
Hey, at least there's some use for it.
Yeah. Well, we got two more going in soon too. We got the Black Pill, and then we got the Nightmare on Sperm Street. That's next. So. Yeah, if anybody else wants to jump on, feel free to jump on, man. Hit that link. It's in the chat. Jump on and chat with us. So, yeah, I got a couple other topics too, man. I've wrote some stuff down. We were talking about the drones earlier, which I think is kind of wild.
They were right near me.
Yeah,
They were in
yeah,
Fort Washington, so anybody in
yeah.
the local area knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. I have my idea what it is, but
As Varun, do you know about the drones?
I've heard about it, but I'm not seen the thing in detail actually. I've
Yeah,
been a bit busy.
they're flying around like Jersey and stuff. I don't know why New Jersey, but whatever.
Well, they're near Bedminster, where Trump has one of his locations. I personally think there's two things that are coming. They either lost some kind of highly sensitive material, and the reason why you would fly them at night is because you don't have to worry about sun radiation, so you can actually detect radiation with sensors better. They're either performing some kind of mass test, which is possible, kind of like a giant hide the flag, and let's see if we can find some material out there and it's a giant test. Or the sad thing might be Biden might have let someone in that has some bad materials and they're trying to sniff them out, and they don't want to alert the public, because then there'd be a whole crap show about the border and the Biden administration would have to eat face. And I think that's probably the most realistic one. I'm not saying it's a dirty bomb or anything like that, but I think it is concerning when you have all these drones everywhere. It's not like it's a couple drones, and some of these are the size of cars.
Yeah, that's a big ass drone.
Yeah,
That's like what the Ukraine is flying into Russia. You know,
yeah.
they're using drone bombs.
Well, I mean, they have little drones that were dropping like bombs on the tanks and taking tanks out. So I can only imagine what a car size one could hold.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
saw a video today of one crashing into, it looked like a tower.
yeah, and apparently,
Sounded just like an airplane in the video.
yeah, apparently someone in Pennsylvania got a little uppity and started shooting at them and knocked one of them down. Now they're getting like a $12,000 fine and possible jail time, because the media is not telling us what's going on, so people are taking matters in their own hands.
Dodd, what's up, man? Merry Christmas, buddy. Long time. Haven't seen you in a while. It's a local friend of mine. Haven't seen in a while. I gotta stoke the fire here.
What's the next book going in?
Well, I got some wood yet. The next book is probably, it's going to be either The Black Pill or Nightmare on Sperm Street. I'm sure this will get around. Oh, look at Ted's. What's up, buddy? Tony, man, come on, man. Man, you popping up out of nowhere, man. That's great. Some people will get that, some people won't. That's oh god. Yeah, we haven't missed a beat here, have we, in a year?
Nope.
Yeah, I've had some other topics too, man. And one of my topics was weed, like legalizing weed.
Well, I can talk. My state wants to legalize it.
It failed in Florida. And the funny thing was, it wasn't in Florida. It's not a 50-50 thing. Yeah, Ted, good to see you too, man. You got it in Florida for something to pass. So they're trying to pass recreational. And we do have, I don't know, do you call them pharmacies? We've got a
dispensaries
few around here.
Yeah, we have dispensaries where I'm at.
Dispensaries, yeah.
Yeah.
And we got those. But I just, ever since they've kind of decriminalized it and made it, I don't want to say really decriminalized it. I guess they did. But it's like you go to the beach, cross street to the beach, you smell weed. I smell weed in traffic, when I'm working, neighbors' houses, like never before.
See, I kind of have a problem with that.
I do too, big time.
Personally, like if you don't like the smell of, I mean, I like the smell of cigars, but not everybody does, because they can be, intoxicating for a lot of people. So I get that. Like, I have no problem if you want to do it in your home. Sit on your porch and do it. That's one thing. But like smoking everywhere or in front of kids and everything else, I don't know. Because I see what happened with cigarettes, and we're going to go on the same route there. And I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I know people in my life that, I know you're going to say you can't get addicted to weed, but yeah, this person is. If they don't do it, they're miserable.
Oh yeah, no, you
yeah.
totally can, 100%.
There are people that can get addicted, and it's ruined his life.
There are medicinal purposes for it and recreational, and I guess my brother says the whole city of Philadelphia smells like weed 24/7.
Oh yeah,
it's getting like that around here too. You know,
yeah, it's pretty bad in Philly.
one of my jobs last week, I was working. I'm like, and these are beautiful, beautiful homes on the river, and I'm like, man, it's just every time I come here and work, next door is just reeks, you know. And she's like, I don't know what it smells like, and I'm like, well, just stand near your fence there sometime when you come out, you'll get a good whiff. You know, it's indescribable what it is. I mean, you can smell it. I mean, it doesn't smell like anything else. I just think that, okay, I would say that maybe decriminalizing it would be the thing, but I don't think legalizing it. Does that make sense?
I'll go a step further. For if you're using it for medication, because some people use it for anxiety, some people use it for glaucoma. There's other things that you can use it for. I have no problem if you're using it as a drug, 100%. If it works for you, do it. But to allow, under 18 and all that stuff, I kind of have a problem with that.
But recreational is just recreational. It's just whenever, whatever. You know, you just go buy it, smoke it. I see an issue with like people like myself who have a concealed weapons permit, and there are, I have spoken to friends about this that wanted to get a medical marijuana card, and I'm like, you're
playing with fire right there.
It's a conflict of interest.
100%.
So
it's like drinking and shooting. Like that's not going to end well for you. It could be legal, but it's not going to end well for you at all.
Yeah, and it's like drinking and driving, which you shouldn't do, and you shouldn't smoke weed and drive. But I think people tend, don't get me wrong, I've done it when I was younger, but
everybody has.
I don't think it's not a good combination. I think what's going to happen is, I have a local cop buddy that told me, I asked him, like, what's the deal? Like, he's like, our hands are kind of tied. I said, and I smell it everywhere. We were standing in a convenience store. It was funny as hell. Hey, Michael Foster, what's happening? And this dude came in. We were just standing there talking, and he's all got his his body armor on, the whole scene, and everything's on. And this dude came in all just bobbing. And then he saw us just standing there talking, and you could smell him when he walked in the door. And he just looked at the clerk, straight faced, didn't even no smile. The smile's gone and everything's gone. But he reeked. He smelled, you could smell it forever. So, Michael Foster's backstage. Hang on one sec.
Tony?
There he is.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's happening?
Hello, Michael Foster.
Hello, as Vern.
Yeah.
And Bandit. Do you know Bandit? I don't think so.
Well, nice to meet you, Michael.
Likewise.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I thought I'd pop in.
We say Merry Christmas here, not Happy Holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Agreed.
Amen. Tony, that's in the back yard, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I've got if you saw my thumbnail, it's a chimney that looks like a tiki head. And then I drilled out where it has eyeballs. I drilled out the two eyeballs. You can see them. So you have the teeth and the mouth. It looks really cool at night. So the flames come through the eyeballs too. Yeah. So I modify everything.
This is kind of a blast from the past for me, man. We used to do this a lot 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, about a year and a half ago is when I kind of backed off. It's been about a year and a half, I would say. from when I look at my videos. Caduceus, what's up, buddy? Yeah, so Michael Foster, we're on the topic of legalizing marijuana. I voted against it in Florida, and so did most everybody that I know.
Yeah, it makes people retards.
I think it's the dumbing of America.
It is. It's a way to manage anxiety, manage life. I understand the appeal of it. It's not good for you though.
Yeah. I mean, it's if somebody's using it to sleep or something like that, or I don't even have an issue with somebody like, everybody has a cocktail or something, but if you have a little puff or something, I don't have a problem with it. But there are chronic users, and I know a lot of them here in Florida.
Yeah, it's bad.
My favorite thing about this guy is like, look, I know this is going to surprise you, but I actually smoke a lot of weed. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't surprise anybody that knows you. Like everyone knows that you smoke weed. Like, like they always seem kind of dopey people. They have a sort of dopiness to them, and there may be a couple outliers here and there, but you can definitely tell when someone's smoking weed. And the fruit is not good.
This is I talked about a job here a little while ago where the neighbor, I could smell it when I was working. I was hanging some doors in the interior. I go outside and cut, and it reeked. But I also had a job where I was doing a bathroom remodel, and these are like they're like it's a fourplex stilt homes. Okay, so there's 4 of them, and we have a constant east to west. Most of the time our sea breeze is east to west, and these people happen to be west, and literally like the only thing that divides them is two closets, okay, and then the screened in, and they hate it because the people sit on that porch all day long, and they're a retired couple and smoke all day long. I was getting sick because that's all I smelled when I worked there for a month. They said they can't even sit out on their porch anymore.
So that's not right.
But they have there's nothing they can do about it because these people have a medical marijuana card. And there's like, you can't call the police. You can't do anything. There's nothing anybody can do about it, but I am glad that our recreational was voted down in Florida. So, and I know our governor, Ron DeSantis, he wasn't for it either. A lot of my friends I talked to about it that are like business owners like myself, and they said they don't want to see these pot stores on every friggin' corner because that's what would happen.
Well, that's what they have it here in Pennsylvania. It's almost every town's got like 2 or 3 of them. And
yeah, but I think in Pennsylvania they don't sell the actual flower bud, right? It's like I think it's just oil gummies.
It's oil gummies, and then if you want to do like tinctures and stuff like that, where it gets a little, quasi stuff. But yeah, you're not smelling. They're not selling like the paper and everything. And it's a sad thing is it's really easy to get. All you have to do is say I have anxiety, and they're going to sign off on it. Everybody knows what you have to say. Like,
oh yeah, no, you just say I have I've had a knee injury or knee surgery or shoulder surgery or whatever. No, it's no big deal. In fact, I think there's certain doctors that just make their living on writing prescriptions.
Yeah, that's not cool either.
But that's a fact,
Oh, I know it's a fact.
It's kind of like the days of the pain management,
Oh, I used to be a farm tech, so I worked in the narc room. I used to do 6,000 Percocets a day, and we used to do it to retirement homes. So basically, instead of giving you like a headache medicine, they would just give you Vicodin. It's awful. Never send anybody that you care about to a retirement home. It's awful what they do to you.
Well, I have a friend who opened when they cracked down in Florida. He in fact, I did one of the build outs for his whatever center, and they were one in Brunswick, one in Valdosta, Georgia, and for about a year he made a couple $1 million in about a year, probably less than a year. which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Tony,
But-
this is my news, baby. This is Fox.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hi.
This is number 9.
Number
This is
9.
my 5th son, right, buddy? Look at this.
And what's his name again?
Fox, Foxe, and this is Cyprian.
Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
And so, yep, this is the newest one. He kind of snuck into our life. We didn't. This was not purposeful, but here we are.
Yeah, what's one more? What's one more?
Yep. This is Cedar. This is my my 3rd daughter.
Who are you talking to?
This is Mr. Bruno, Tony Bruno. He's a good friend down in Florida.
Are you singing? Are you singing?
All right. Don't do that.
Oh, that's so cool.
This is the chaos of the Foster household.
It's usually more chaotic.
Yeah, it doesn't look like chaos though. Anytime.
Yeah, this is Galilee and our.
And El Poopy,
And this is
my favorite dog, Rome.
He sucks, but this is our new puppy, Jerome.
He's so cute.
He's
I even got
Did
him
you say he sucks?
he's a pretty terrible. Yeah, I could do without
No, he sleeps with me and I love him.
him. I'm not a fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Daddy's not a fan at all.
I'm not.
It's only me. It's only me, Cademan, and Cedar that really like him. Everybody
Yeah.
else just hates
I
him.
like my German Shepherd. He's a good dog.
He's a good boy. Rome's
don't-
with something else.
Don't get Basset Hounds, my friends. Let me just
That
warn you
Basset
right.
Hound, he's a bagel.
He is 75% Basset Hound, 25% Beagle, which
Which means because he's a cross mix, he's still classified as a bagel, which is a cross mix.
Does
he
do
sucks.
that?
He still
does-
sucks. That's what she's trying to say. It's just
Does he
because-
do
If you
that?
want a dog that doesn't really slobber, good with
Does he
Jack
do
and
that
Finn.
bark though? That they do that kind of.
It's so
Yeah.
cute. And when you
That's what he does, man.
if you play the piano, he'll
Look
like
at those giant ears.
Yeah, he's got
oh,
those.
he's got a little floppy ears.
He's got those. This dog gets out. His nose, once he catches a scent, he can't help. His brain turns off. He's a bird dog.
Yeah.
If
And
you
once
want
they
a
get-
good dog, these are like one of the types to get.
Let's go after it.
Beagles and bagels.
All right. So,
Can you-
guys, what's going on here in Casa de Foster?
I want to say hi to Timmy Kramer. Merry Christmas, Timmy Kramer. Good to see you, buddy. Glad to have you here. Yeah, so we get back to the weed thing. I just, I've said this many times on this stream. I just think it's the dumbing of America. That's all I think.
It is.
Just I just assume keep it underground, decriminalize it, and that's it. But legalizing it, I think it when people hear that word legalize, it's legal, and people abuse alcohol. I mean, let's get real,
Oh yeah, 100%.
So I'm not a fan of the I don't think people should go to jail for it anymore. I also think, like I said earlier, I don't think you should be driving when you're under the influence of weed, but people are.
Well, I mean, they got the little thing on the forklift. If you ever get a forklift license, if you're under controlled substance, you can't do anything. I mean, some head medicines like Lyrica and everything else, you can't drive a vehicle under that. Anything that messes with your head, we've already have drugs that you have Lyrica in your system, you could be in some serious trouble if you go driving. So,
Well,
Tony?
guys, I just wanted to pop in real quick and say hi to Tony. And
Well, thanks. Thank
yeah.
you. I know we tried to catch up past couple weeks, but
yeah, we'll do it soon.
we'll do it soon. No worries. I'm glad you popped on, man, because you've always been a regular here, man. If you look back on boy, a lot of my streams, and you're on a lot of them, and we were on for hours, man.
Here's the
Hours.
thing: like, people are always hunting me, Tony. They're
Yeah.
always trying to like find like dirt on me, and I'm always like, I hope they don't find Tony Bruno's YouTube channel, like where I'm just like unfiltered and saying things, you know.
Yeah,
like-
well, I like one of the. I think I have it as a YouTube short or somewhere where you what did I say? It was Michael Foster, something about my stream, and you're like, well, I just got to let you know it's the only show I let my kids watch.
really? Well, I'd always come on here because I just you know what I think I was, you know, I've kind of like had this sort of shot to wealth and celebrity and all this nonsense. And what I like about this stream is I like honest people. I like normal, honest people.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to respect people when they're, even if you disagree with them, if they're truthful, right?
Mhm.
And so much of the manosphere stuff that you and I were part of there for some years was so much bluster. It was all projection, trying to be something they're not. And that's quite the same in the Christian world as well, sadly, you know, where people put on act and just be around with a bunch of guys who are being honest about who they are. That's refreshing, man. That's
Yeah, I mean, you've had some. I say you, but you've had some really good dialogue battles with people.
Yes, we had some fun times on this game. No doubt
But
about
it was, you know, it got a little out of control a couple times, but everybody was still cool with it. And I know on most of my streams, everybody seemed to leave on good terms.
Yeah, there was no hate. It was guys shooting the breeze and arguing like men argue.
And that's normal. That's okay.
It is normal. That is 100%. Well, Merry Christmas to you,
Yep,
Ben,
Merry
you
Christmas.
as Vern.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah,
your
same
guys.
to you,
Nice meeting you, and
Michael Foster.
Merry Christmas as well.
All right, guys.
Merry Christmas.
God bless and take care.
Thank you for
Yeah.
coming out, Michael Foster. Good to
Yep.
see you.
Bye.
Tony,
Yeah.
I'll be going out of station today. I'll be traveling with my father. So thank you for having me on your show. I need to go and get ready right now. So can I catch up with you again this week?
Absolutely, man. You got my email. Keep in touch.
Yeah, definitely, Tony.
You know
Thank you
how
for having me on your show.
I need to do some more private stream yards. You know, we've always had a good time, you know, not recording anything, just everybody chatting in a Zoom call. I mean, I remember there's nights we've had streams that were 5-6 hours long sometimes, and then another what, 3 or 4 hours backstage talking, you know.
Yeah.
And it's always that backstage talks were just crazy good, just unfiltered, you know, because there's a lot of things you can't say on here, and that's fine, but
Correct.
backstage we've had a lot of good times, and you know, and a lot of I think there's been a lot of, we'll just say, frank conversations that you can't have on YouTube backstage, you know.
Yeah.
And that's sad that you kind of have to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it, but it's sad that we have to live in a world like that.
Yeah. And one of my favorite live streams was when it was me and Asvaroon. It was a night with Asvaroon, and we talked about everything in Asvaroon's life. We talked about religion and just a whole. It was really, I really enjoyed that stream. It's a pretty popular stream on my channel. It's still on there. So people go check it out. I think it's just called like an evening with Asvaroon. But we got to see another side of the world and how somebody else lives, you know, and what they believe and his thoughts and things like that. So it was really a good fun time, you know. and I like to do that occasionally, is get somebody who, who's I met through YouTube, and just make the whole stream about them, because this stream, in my channel has really never been about me, and that's not why. That's just something, I might moderate or try to ask questions, but I like it to make any stream about other people and not about me. So, but Timmy says, I like to see men in society prospering, enjoying life. Absolutely, Timmy. And you are a great example of that. Timmy Kramer is a great example of prospering and enjoying life to the fullest, man. Absolutely. You guys follow Timmy Kramer on Instagram. He always has good stuff. You want to see a guy living life to the fullest? Well, Timmy Kramer's living it for sure. So he's no poser. He's the real deal. So, and we had a good conversation here a while back. I think it's 7 months ago, and nice talk through Instagram. And so it's cool to get to know people that you see in the chat and things like that, and get to know people personally. And I have made some great friends over the years on here, and guys that I still try to stay in contact with, so. And a lot of guys that have reached out to me for, advice. And man, I'm just not the advice guy, but I've had a lot of guys over the years just want to talk, and I just let them talk. And sometimes that's the best thing you can do. Guys going through a bad time, man, let the guy talk. And it's, what's funny is that there's not a lot of people, I mean, the reality is, in comparison to people that don't have a YouTube channel and aren't coming out here and talking with people that watch you tend to put you, I don't want to say celebrity status, but they tend to want to give you a little bit of clout. You know what I mean? So they really, if you can go like personal with a couple of these guys that really might have some issues, and just, whether you do an Instagram video chat or something like that, it helps. It helps a lot of people. So anybody that, and I'm not the guy that, will say, oh, I talked to this guy or talk to that guy. You know what I mean? I keep everything private, unless you screw me over, then it all comes out. So,
Well, rightfully so at that point.
yeah, and that's fair.
Okay then, Tony. Bye, Bandit. Bye, Tony. Thank you for having me on your show.
All
Nice
right,
talking to you. Merry
keep in
Christmas.
touch, Asvarun.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. Merry Christmas to every one of you, even in the chat as well.
Thanks, Asvarun. Timmy Kramer says, golfing with 7 divorced buddies, Christmas morning in the Sun City. This will be our 12th year enjoying free golf on Xmas. Nice, buddy. Yeah,
That sounds
that's
like
cool.
a great day.
That's good, man. That's good. And I can tell Timmy is kind of a mentor. And I remember when like I said, a few months ago, we had a nice conversation, but I can tell he's like, if there's a guy you want to, like, that will give you encouragement and is living the life that a lot of these content creators wish they had, well, he's doing it. So, and I know that for a fact. So, but yeah, if anybody else is watching, you want to jump on, man, click that link, jump on the panel. I've got a few other topics I wanted to talk about. So, one of the ones is, we get back in the manosphere, and I think it's dead. I think it's dead. I think it's reached its peak. I think its peak was a few years ago. I don't even like that word anymore.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
And the thing is, I think it's a good lesson for a lot of things to see why it collapsed. Like how it became toxic, how it got manipulated by certain groups, how the message got warped. There's a lot of different ways you can look at how it kind of fell apart. And it's a good learning example of seeing how, good intentions, if not policed correctly, can lead to, the whole system collapsing.
Yeah, there are some people, that, and again, these people are in business too, and there's nothing wrong with the business if you're helping people. One of the, I'll throw my brother out there. I think he does a great job in coaching men and helping them through their shitty times, but it's not at a point you do get what you pay for. But like I said, be careful who you throw your money to. There's also, my favorite, probably my favorite, I'm not going to say panel guest, but my favorite guest and friend of mine is Pat Stedman. Pat Stedman is totally legit. He's an intelligent guy. I know he's, went through a tough time with the January 6th thing. But Pat is level-headed and a smart guy. But when it comes to, the amount of guys that he's dealt with, he's one who's up there, man. If I would recommend him and my brother. If you guys if you have issues, those are a couple guys I would say that you're gonna get your money's worth. Let's put it that way. But they're few and far in between. You can say, oh, they're, that's your brother, or Pat's, a friend of yours. Yeah, he is. But we've had some. There's people that couldn't stand Pat. Dating coach, blah blah blah. But then when they actually talked to him, it was great conversations. And you can't knock somebody that's just doing the right thing. So. That's my two recommendations for tonight.
If you put in the work and you got the receipts to back it up, I mean, no one should be talking crap about you if you got.
No, there's a lot of people that have made impacts on the manosphere, whether it's good or bad, or there's like Anthony with 21 Studios, man, he worked his ass off to get those conventions out for many, many, many years. He's taking care of family and doing stuff like that now, and maybe it'll come back. But his objective was to crush the people he thought were just like I mean Smash TV did that, MD and all these guys, but some of it, there's certain people that don't have legitimate claims on other people. And I don't agree with everything everybody says. I'm just not that guy. I'm not a puppet. I make my own.
You're not sick of that. That's a good thing.
No, I make my own choices on, but I don't have to agree with everybody to be a friend. That's for sure. But there are some standouts in these spaces, and I'm sure there's other guys too. But I'm just saying, the people that I know. So, but I think everybody kind of has had their place in these spaces. And I think some people have overstayed their welcome. Let's just put it that way, And again, I'm not going to get into too many names. I think people know the people
we
I
know
like.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, people know the people I like. And again, these are my opinions. I don't give a shit what anybody says. These are my opinions. If you don't like it, I don't care. I don't change I will change my opinions of people when I'm saying, okay, well, all right, that's good. That's good. He's made a change. But as far as like content that I've watched, I haven't watched a whole lot especially over the past year or so. In fact, I haven't watched hardly anything. I'm trying to think what I watch on YouTube now. I think it's more, I've watched construction stuff and sometimes just fun stuff. I like prepper stuff, things like that. There's one guy called Canadian Prepper. I like the guy. Um, it's definitely, but I don't know if you ever heard of Canadian Prepper.
No, I have not.
But
But I
everything,
do like the prepper channels though.
yeah, Canadian Preppers, he's pretty good. He's pretty good, and he's in business too. But everything is like every thumbnail is like, World War III is imminent. Get your this, that, and your other thing, and then like, then like 5 minutes into the video, it's like, use my code something for your MREs and your prepping food, and I get it. They got to make it, they make a living off it. So, but a lot of that stuff is legit too. When somebody's following it, probably unlike most people don't really stack their cards properly. They're just spouting off with any kind of proof. And not saying that proof to me is like, just because it's said doesn't mean it's a fact.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
You gotta have empirical evidence. You gotta have all
Mhm.
the fun stuff.
But nowadays, like, there's so much information. You gotta sift through that with your own brain. Sift through the information.
And I think that's half the problem. People just gotten too lazy that they just trust too easily. It's
Yeah.
too much effort to look into stuff. I'm just gonna trust it, and then
Yeah,
9
and the
times out
problem
of 10 you're gonna get burned.
is looking at things. You get, the big G company. They're going to put what they want you. They're going to put their intentions up first in a search engine. And I don't think, if you're like me, most people don't go past the first page. It's just the way it is when you're searching something.
Well, I don't know if you've heard, but Google's under massive lawsuits now because of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're getting sued like big time by a lot of different groups now. So I don't know how much longer Google's going to be around, to be honest with you. So I mean, Russia has that massive lawsuit, even though that's kind of a joke. But
yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon.
yeah, but a lot of people said that about Yahoo too, and that only took like 5 years for that company to like drop from being the #1 search engine to basically irrelevance at this point.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can happen. That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah. Well, another topic was Trump, and Trump sounds like he's going to put a stop to that stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The fact that all the right people are reading right now kind of makes me happy. I do find it odd but very concerning that the media is trying to put a wedge between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, trying to say like who's the puppet master because they're trying to play on Trump's ego. I really hope he's not that naive, but you never know. Like,
yeah, I don't think so. I think he's anti-government, but he is a celebrity too. You know what I mean? And he does, anybody in that position is going to have an ego. And sometimes ego is good. If you're good at what you do, there's nothing wrong with having that ego.
Yeah, but as long as you're willing to take advice from people that you trust. Like, your ego's not to the point where you're just surrounded by sycophants and then you end up getting in some trouble.
I remember one. I think I put it on my Instagram. this was a while ago, but it said, hey, are you a Trump loving asshole like your brother?
I mean, I think people need to realize more than half the American public voted for the guy. So
yeah,
like, the chances of you bumping into a Trump supporter over a Kamala Harris supporter is,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it, man. I've got a, I don't know, you probably can't see it now, but it's on my Instagram too, but I'm shining my flashlight on it, but I've got a tall windsock pole, in the backyard here with a red, white, and blue windsock, and I've got my giant Trump flag hanging on it below the windsock, and it's just perfect positioning where a couple of my Trump-hating neighbors can see it perfectly every day.
Nice.
And it wasn't done for that. It's just like, this is what, if you don't like it, I don't know, try to come in my backyard and take it down.
The biggest thing that I had to face here is, since it was mostly 50-50 Trump, Kamala Harris, we had a lot of like people with Trump signs getting defaced, writing like really depraved stuff on it. I mean, it was getting a little bit out of hand here in Pennsylvania, at least. And it was kind of frustrating. It seems like everything is happening in this state, like the Tippit assassination, all this other bullshit. And I'm happy it actually went down to Trump, and this was a deciding factor that won him the election, because I could have seen it going the other way really at certain points, and that could have been like, we would never hear the end of it.
Yeah, but I don't think I think that was just media saying it was going to go that way, because, boy, the results did not show that at all, did they?
No. Well, they also didn't account for Biden really. No one seems to mention this, but the reason why Pennsylvania mostly went Republican is because the Biden administration really screwed over the Amish, and they actually mobilized and got like 200 to 250,000 Amish to vote. And there's no amount of cheating in Philadelphia that was going to put that aside. So I'm happy it went that route. They really screwed over the Amish.
Look who we got here, man.
What's going on, Tony?
My brother from Taiwan. Bro? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Tony. How you been, man?
Oh, good. Just having a chill session, man. Sitting next to the fire. Got a nice chilly night in Florida. And yeah, man, we need to talk about Taiwan. I mean, you're on the front lines there. Is there anything you can tell us that the news doesn't tell us?
Probably the number one thing is business as usual here. Mm-hmm. People just living their life normally. Mm-hmm. I think for the most part, that's always going to be in the back of their head, the conflict between China and Taiwan. Well, I'll say the CCP in Taiwan, but people just live their life, I mean, they're always flying their planes over the territorial border and pushing their ships farther into the strait, but business as usual, bro. I think a lot of times the media over there in the West, they pump it up more than.
Dude, it's on more than I can tell you. I watched it this morning. Well,
this morning, what are they saying?
Just the typical stuff, like China's going to invade Taiwan before Trump gets in. Things like that. And it's like, what?
Yeah. I mean, the CCP's been saying that since 1949 when the KMT, the Nationals, fled to Taiwan. So. Yeah, it's just that we have like these media cycles that are like always looking for something,
West Taiwan, basically.
What's that?
I like to call China West Taiwan.
Oh, okay. I mean, for me, go ahead.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary too, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I caught your stream there a bit. I actually was listening while I was in bed and fell asleep while it was on. So not that it was boring or anything, but I thought it was really cool. It was really it was nice, dude. It was really nice. Yeah. It just shows you that, to me, listening to that people can have a good relationship.
It's still out there. I mean, most people will say it's a unicorn or whatever, but
and that's what I took from it. It warms my heart to see two people in love and enjoying life and enjoying each other. I'm sure there's some ups and downs, but
of course,
it was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah. Actually, I'll take that as a compliment, bro. If you fall asleep listening to my stream, hey man, it's you put you at ease, whether you know what I mean. So it's all good. It's all good.
I'd listened for quite a while. But I had it.
Yeah.
I just had it on the pillow next to me, and I'm just listening. And
Yeah, when I saw
it was
you in the
cool the
chat,
way you guys were
I was like,
reminiscing and
bro,
talking.
it was nice. It was great to see you, man. It was like, wow, Tony.
Yeah,
Been too long.
yeah. No, it was
Yeah.
it was good, man. It was, to me, it was like that stream should go to people like the people that say, "Oh, I'll never find a good woman or somebody that's going to love me," or you know what I mean, that kind of thing,
Mhm.
and have that mutual kind of mutual adoration for each other, I guess you could call it. And that's
Yeah.
really that's things that Manosphere needs to hear right there, dude. Is you and your wife sitting there talking, telling how you met, and just the whole story was cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I appreciate you saw that. I mean, because that was the first time she's, I think, pretty much been on the stream with me.
Yeah,
before.
no, that's why
And
I
all
was
these times, yeah.
shocked. That's
Yeah.
why I was shocked. I'm like, all right, I got to listen to this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. She's a
is
cool
that
person. Like,
is that still
yeah.
up?
It's still up. Yeah, it's still up.
Is it?
It's there. Yeah, it's still there.
Hey, you ought to throw the link in the chat.
Okay.
If you can, throw it in the chat so maybe some of these guys can listen to it and see what a functioning marriage sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I see some of these cats have been doing streams about is love real, and can you feel true love? And I mean, to me, it's like they kind of like overthink it. Love is just just being there for somebody, and because that's the person you're going to spend the most of your time with. I mean, yes, there's romanticism has been played into the modern conception of what love is and all that, and whatever. It's just showing up for the person and being there for them, and you care about them, yeah. But you definitely do have to put in boundaries and communicate for sure. Because one of the things in a roundabout way I found you and some of the other folks is through the married red pill, like looking into some of that stuff, which I think from my research is in general like one of the more healthier takes on the red pill.
Yeah, because there what I think, that there are certain roles that men and women have to take, and that's the roles that work. We can say that, and this, the way it sounds horrible, but men lead, women follow, and someone will be like, bah! You know what I mean? But no, there is no, you know what I mean? There is no, it's like anything. It's like a team. When there's a team, there's a captain of the team though also. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you have to put out that energy that she wants to follow. Like you have her best interest at heart. And that's, to me, that's what a woman wants, and it's not simping. It's not, I fucking hate that word.
It's been thrown around a lot.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I think that's another word that's not used properly.
Yeah.
Well, there's that word, and I also hate the word that they always like demonize, compromising.
Yeah.
Because how the hell are you supposed to run a relationship without some form of compromise?
Yeah. Well, you're right, Bennett. Yeah. One of the greatest things you can do, one of the most powerful things you can do is actually assert your humbleness too at times. There's a time to be especially when you're forcing boundaries to punish, and there's times for mercy, and there's times to be humble, and there's times to be assertive. It's just that more times as not, as a husband or a father or a leader, you have to take the lead, like Tony was saying, because every team has a leader, the body has a head. It doesn't mean that you don't get advice and taking things into account from your, as we say, second mate, your wife. It's just that, like, somebody's got to take the lead, because if you don't, 9 times out of 10, I've seen it, like, a lot of men, I mean, their whole relationship of life will be led to hell if you let some of these women lead, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Timmy Kramer, he
No,
says, Timmy Kramer says, I hang out with a married buddy 38 years. She still cooks dinner. He always opens all her doors. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
You know,
that's what you're
being a
supposed to do.
gentleman, there's a lot to be said for being a gentleman.
Yeah.
You know, there just is.
Right.
You know, I don't care
Absolutely.
if you're going into a store and you hold the door for a woman. You should. You know, it's not being a simp. It's just being a gentleman.
Hmm.
You know, even if she has purple hair and is 600 pounds, so what? You know,
Yeah.
that actually might teach that woman something if you do that. You know,
Right. Good point. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of people. I call it like bags of sand. Like the movie 40-year-old version. They're talking about women and they did this and that. And then even the language they use, you can't even. You could tell that they don't have much experience. They haven't had
yeah,
much experience. Yeah. That's what they're talking about it online, like for 11 hours or however
yeah. That's
many how
that's
much they
the
do.
issue I have with some of the manosphere content is that when I hear some of these guys, I'm like, you ain't spent no time with a woman. You might have
Yeah.
spent time with one or two hag bags, but that's about it.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a minute to figure out what you don't like using negation, and then you can go from there. But you got to get out there, put yourself out there. Like I
Yeah.
hear this weird stuff about like sit back and like let her always come to you. Well, you're gonna be sitting back a lot.
Yeah.
If that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Don't be a coos hound all the time, but
Yeah.
definitely you got to be assertive sometimes.
One of the things is never do anything. I'm not even going to, probably not, I'm going to paraphrase it. Never do anything for the direct pleasure the woman. You know what I mean? It's like, what? Like,
Yeah,
That's
bags of
just people
sand,
that
man.
haven't been in a relationship before, or
yeah,
they hate women,
absolutely.
or they hate women.
Mm,
They just want it to be me, 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 and that's about it.
mhm. Right.
You
Look at the
know, and then,
definition of simping. Simping is, if you just look it up, even in regular dictionary or urban dictionary, is basically just giving yourself up with no reward or no return. Doing
what is,
doing all this stuff for her
what's
and
the,
like not getting anything.
what's the, simp is an acronym. Do you know what it stands for? I can't remember right now.
I don't know, but I know I've heard it. I heard it like in 1997 for the first time. And
Yeah.
when I was when I was in college, yeah, a long time ago in Long Beach, some girl said that, and I was like, "Simp, I never heard that." And I heard it in songs before, so I think even before it was an acronym, it just basically meant being like sympathetic, being overly sympathetic to the woman's needs when she's not even giving you anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I don't know what the acronym is.
It's
Yeah.
something for I forget. I forget the first two letters, but I know the last two is like mediocre. We'll just say P.
Yeah. 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 That's
I
right.
just don't know what the first two letters are
You're
for.
right. That's it. That's it. Yeah. And that might have been made up. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if that, but I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that's the whole scene, man. It's just like I said, that's why I just like, there's still people that I like to talk to, like Pat and a few others, and who I think are very genuine in what they want to do for men in relationships. But um, I think the whole manosphere has gotten to a point to where relationships are bad. The whole MGTOW thing is, I don't even know what to think of it. I really don't. I don't know what to think of it. I've always had an issue with it. And the funny thing was, I was thinking about it. I'm like, wait, like, it's been said to where, men going their own way, you're leaving women. Well, my opinion is you actually have to have the woman to leave. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these guys adopt that MGTOW, whatever, that whole ideology. And they're not really MGTOWs. You actually have to have something to walk away from. You know, you can, if you're walking away from your house, you actually have to have a house. You know,
Not wrong.
So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole MGTOW thing. And I think there are good aspects of it, you know, and it took me a while. I had said this a couple of years ago, like I'm probably more MGTOW than 90% of MGTOWs, you know, but I
would say that.
I never walked away from women though. That's the thing. Like I said earlier in the stream, there's nothing better than the company of a good woman. So,
yeah.
Oh, look at suckers idolizing mediocre P. Thanks, Peg.
There you go.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Simps are simpletons, basically. Yeah. But not in a good way.
There's the whole thing again, you know, it's the P, you know, everything doesn't revolve around, the
sleeve,
2 square inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
But
guys, thanks for having me on. I appreciate
does.
I appreciate you having me on. Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a safe New Year.
All right, Brandon.
man.
Merry Christmas, bro.
Keep in touch, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, likewise. Have a good one, guys.
Absolutely. Good conversation, bro. Appreciate you.
Anytime.
Hey, Tony, it's been I was checking your archives. It's been a year, man. Your last stream was your fast one, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about your fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta get away, man.
I heard that.
And just live life. Work has been great for me. I enjoy what I do. I just been living life. Just, no major changes, that's for sure. But just enjoying life, just like I am now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've always seemed at peace and calm in your element. So I don't hear. Sounds the same.
I think a lot of guys think that, and I'm not alone. I have a girl that I'm dating, but my alone time is really important to me. It really is. I really enjoy my time in my house by myself. I'm always doing something. You know what I mean? I always have something to do. So that's, I think when you're idle, that's when there's problems.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've worked through that, I will say. And idle time, it just brings, the devil creeps in.
Yeah.
And all these overthinking and whatnot. I said it earlier, overthinking. Yeah.
I think a lot of guys too have issues with location too. I mean, I couldn't imagine living in like a big city. I think if guys move their location too, they'd have better lives. You don't have to be stuck in one place. We've got a big country. There's a big world out there.
Yeah.
And that's why I said earlier, I've been looking at places in Arkansas, a lot of land, that kind of thing. And that's one of the things that I've been looking at. And that's what I think I really, really want. I want to be able to, shoot guns off the back porch, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And and it's not like sometimes you just want to get away. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I've lived, I don't hate people by any chance, by any means. But I think there's a certain aspect to living, on like 50 acres, that kind of thing, and having peace and quiet and looking up and actually seeing stars, So that's just
Yeah.
that's just kind of my take on what's going on. I've been looking around, and I can get a good buck for my house if I ever want to just bail.
Yeah.
But I got mom and dad close by too, so and
That's
right
right.
now dad has got mild dementia and Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm noticing some changes in him. He's 88. In fact, they just flew out to Biloxi this morning till Christmas Eve. So
Mississippi. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
and
Well,
enjoying their time. And yeah,
that's a
83,
righteous.
83 and 88, and they travel. And I just 3 months ago I went to the doctor with my dad, and we have the same doctor, and good guy. Um, we'll just say he's kind of anti-medical. We'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? He's
Yeah,
he's
he's
kind
probably
of,
a good doctor. That's why.
yeah, and he's out, just like I told him when we sat down, and we need to think outside the box. And me and my brother have done a lot of research on testosterone replacement therapy, and so I've been giving my dad a shot of testosterone every Saturday, so for 3 months now.
Yeah. What have you observed?
Well, realistically, from what I see, it takes you need about 6 months. I did
Mm-hmm.
notice his total testosterone is about a 150. So he had prostate cancer about 3-4 years ago, and he did it one time. I think they gave him this shot. It's called Lupron, and it basically chemically castrates you.
Yeah. You know what? Oh man, I know. I shouldn't even bring this up.
And that's a complete
Talking
bullshit.
about.
Testosterone does not increase your chances of prostate cancer. That's an old lie that the medical industry sticks to.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old lie.
Yeah.
So now my dad's testosterone from his latest blood work went from 150 to about 1200, which is
That's
really
an
good.
enormous jump.
Yeah. I actually
Man.
backed it off a little now. We talked, we had the blood tests and things like that. So instead of giving him basically like a half a bottle, I'm giving him I'm getting four injections out of one bottle instead of two.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's free testosterone is everything. And at this point, I'm not sure if he actually notices it, but he might not.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be getting around better. It's slight. It's not like overnight. I've got him working out again. My dad used to be like a power lifter and weightlifter and bodybuilder, and he did judo like I did. And, so he was a, maniac. He still is,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. So he's a Marine, but, but there are other changes that he's noticed big time, so.
Well, that's great. He has you as his two sons, helping him out. And you got your doctor. That's a good team. Now, have you guys come across anyone else, any other elderly folks that have taken tea?
Yeah, one of his friends actually, but this guy doesn't do anything. My dad's very active most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
so, and I know the guy. In fact, I did some work for him, and his wife told me that she gives him testosterone. So,
Mm-hmm.
But I think the main thing that we looked at is that testosterone will help cognitive issues. That's what they're finding out now. So,
yeah, that's great, man. You're being active, not just being passive, and being assertive and taking, helping your family out. Yeah, that's great. I kind of wish I would have been. I mean, granted, I was young, like 23 when my mom passed away, but I wish I would have, done a little bit more in an alternative medicine way to help her with her cancers and stuff, so
Hmm.
but that's great. He's
Yeah, the
lucky.
one thing about my dad is we're trying to get him to eat, more protein, and he
Hmm.
just like we've done everything. In fact, my mom brought everything over to my house here, like about a week or so ago. Quest bars, and they're delicious. They're chocolate chip cookies and all
Hmm.
this stuff. Even Magic Spoon cereal. I don't know if you know what Magic Spoon is.
No, I know
It's
Quest bars
it's
though.
it's just a high protein cereal,
Hmm.
like
Okay.
breakfast cereal, like freaking Fruit Loops and
Hmm.
cinnamon this and all that, and chocolate like freaking Cocoa Puffs, and it tastes just like all that stuff. I eat it. I love it. But it's a high amount of protein. It's not actual. It's not. There's no grain in it. There's no
Hmm.
wheat or grain. It's just pure protein. It's called Magic Spoon. But like a
Magic
box
Spoon.
is
Okay.
like, yeah, like a small box is like $8. So it's not that expensive. You know,
Hmm.
it's
Still
twice as
doable.
expensive as crappy cereal. But yeah, so it's something that I think that he just doesn't like it. So so now it's just bacon and eggs, and meat. That's the way he's got to
Yeah.
get his protein. He won't eat. He won't do the shakes, and I love protein shakes. So
Yeah. Maybe it's the sugar aspect. Some of those older folks, the old school dudes, they ain't down for the sugar as
yeah,
much.
yeah, but yeah, like I said, we got about 2-3 months before we hopefully see better results. You know,
Hmm.
and I do have to push him to work out. Like I made a whole list. My mom copied it, so there's 2 lists hanging on the wall. And so, work out, walk, all those things. So, but he still plays his music. My dad plays bluegrass. He plays, he still plays with other people, sometimes 2-3 times a week. So, you know, keeps his music, and that's what helps him out. So,
Definitely for cognitive ability.
yeah. And that, this past year they got in a head-on collision. Um,
Damn.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, my dad
Mm.
called me. I was at work about 5 o'clock, and he called me
Mhm.
like literally like 2 minutes after. He's like, "We just were in a head-on collision. Your mom's hurt real bad." And I hear my mom like screaming in the background. And I'm like,
Shit.
"What the hell?" Of course, your adrenaline just goes through the roof,
Yeah.
and it was just, you know,
Yeah.
I went, you just go completely red. You don't know what to think. You're thinking the worst, and luckily,
They,
they drive a Honda CR. It wasn't their fault either. They
yeah.
were
So
just
he was
driving.
driving. Your dad was driving, or
My mom
or
was
your
driving.
mom?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. And I'm surprised
Yeah.
it didn't. My dad didn't feel anything till like a day later. We spent the
Hmm.
night in the hospital with my mom, and yeah, it was pretty scary. I mean, the car was totaled. It was a good thing. It was a good Honda CRV, which is an SUV, and a million airbags,
Hmm.
things like that. So,
Yeah.
but my mom had like her shoulder and neck, and
Yeah.
then like the seatbelt marks, like bruises from the belt along your stomach and the belt that goes across your chest, like bruises where those are.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Your family seems like it's pretty healthy and longevity.
yeah.
Have you ever lost anyone though in the inner like the inner family? The nuclear type family.
No, just my uncle. My uncle
Hmm.
died unexpectedly. My dad's brother, and then his sister died. My aunt. That was a while ago. So
Hmm.
my dad is he's the he would be the middle child, but as
Yeah.
far as that goes, like immediate family, no, my 2 brothers and everybody's here, man. You know, so
It's a good thing.
yeah, I'm drinking some nice eggnog.
Man.
Evan
Adult
Williams
beverage.
eggnog. Evan Williams eggnog. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's that time of the year.
Definitely. Yeah. It's what is it over there? It's 20. It's 21st still, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a winter solstice. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
the shortest day of the year, longest night of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no moon at all. It's dark, dark, dark. In fact, it's wild because I can actually see stars. And the light from cities. I'm not around any big cities. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you can. It's nice to see the stars because it is dark. It's super dark here tonight, and it's about 52 degrees, which isn't too bad. You know.
Yeah. Right. You get that property, you'll be seeing that a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to. You know, I was telling Bandit earlier, I'm finding places. I found a couple places. My dream place is Peg Bell says eggnog. Yeah, heck yeah. My dream place I found is just under $1 million, and the house is a little bit too much house for me,
Hmm.
but it's 1,200 acres, and it's just under $1 million.
Hmm.
It's incredible. The other one I found, which is really just awesome. There's two houses on the property. They're both about 5 years old. One's a 2 bedroom. It's beautiful inside, all granite tops, all wood, and they call them barn dominiums. And it's gorgeous. And then there's a guest house. I told my mom, I'm like, this would be beautiful with like a front porch that overlooks the mountains. It's got a barn that's 30 by 40. That's got a big fenced in area. It's got a pond. Um,
Hmm.
it's got a pond and then a chicken coop. It's all metal. And like I said, it's all like 4 or 5 years old, and it's 40 acres, and they're asking 375.
Damn. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I don't. 4 years old too, huh?
What's that?
You said only 4 years old.
Mm-hmm. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. The places are beautiful. The only thing I don't like is neither of them have a fireplace. That would be the first thing I put in. You know?
That's odd. You would think that would be like a staple right there. A house like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The houses are beautiful. The barn, everything.
Where's it located?
It's Northwest Arkansas,
Okay, Arkansas. Okay,
right at
yeah.
the Ozarks.
Yeah.
I found another one too. I've got a realtor up there. She sends me stuff, and then I look on Zillow, and there's another one that's surrounded by water on three sides.
Hmm.
It's almost like this, not a river. It's almost like they call them shoals, I guess. And it's gorgeous. The house is kind of like a log cabin. It's fairly nice house, but it's 75 acres, and they're asking 405, which is
Okay.
crazy,
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm looking, and I'm thinking, geez, that's about half the cost of my house
Hmm.
here.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I remember those prices in the Bay Area. Yeah. Yeah. I look at a lot of houses on Zillow and also they're like Facebook. There's a couple groups about old houses. And you got
yeah,
some of these old houses that are been even remodeled, and they're like, dude, they're like 100,000. Some of them, uh, yeah, I even saw some 50,000 in the middle of America with some acreage and
yeah,
stuff. So
there's a website
yeah.
called, I think it's Old Houses Under
Mhm.
$50,000.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the sites I look at, and all sorts of stuff. A lot of times too, it's cool because some of them are like old churches and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I seen those too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw one on an island, like a little mini island too, somewhere. A whole house.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was kind of looking in Georgia too. There's a few of them there, but they're like, I saw one. It's really cool, but I'm like, Jesus, I'll bet you the bugs are brutal there because it's a stilt home, and there's just like it's almost like in a swamp. But
Oh
it's
yeah,
pretty,
mosquitoes
pretty.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. It's still
yeah,
pretty friggin' nice.
yeah. It's wild out here in
But I'm,
Asia because we have like we've been looking at the houses in Japan because right now the exchange rate is ridiculous in Japan. Um, uh, dude, there's like mansions for like 20,000 I even saw like a big house, multiple houses, like for 5,000. But the whole thing is, they're in this beautiful remote, like small villages outside of Tokyo or Osaka. And it's because all the older folks are passing on, and they're not having children, or they're not, for whatever reason, the house goes to the city, and they're actually encouraging people to move there, like foreigners and stuff.
Yeah,
And that's
I
like
saw, dude. I
cheap
saw that.
prices.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw. So there's some guy on YouTube that says this is what you can get in Japan for like $15,000.
Right. Yeah. Somebody told me about Italy too. Italy and
Yeah,
Spain, similar things.
yeah.
What do you
There's
think
some of
this is
those.
about, Tony? Like, why is this trend happening? But yet in the United States, I mean, you're finding some good places, but it seems as like what's really going on, Tom? With real estate.
Well, there's also countries and cities that'll pay you to go there, and they'll pay you to come there and live,
Mhm.
which is even crazier.
Yeah, they do that in Japan too.
You know. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to leave the U.S. I don't know. I just think
Yeah.
there's still places. The realtor I talked to that sends me all the stuff, she said everybody's saying the exact same thing you're saying. They want land, they want openness, they want peace and quiet. To me, like if I could have one Sunday where I didn't hear weed eaters and blowers all freaking day, it just
Yeah.
it's like noise pollution.
Yeah. Well, I think as Scorpios, we're able to entertain ourselves and go like within. So we don't really, we can be very social for sure, but then we also like our solitude as well.
Yeah,
Kind of like how you recharge.
yeah. I'm lucky. My little neighborhood here is really cool. It's just a little street across from the beach, and there's only like I think 15, 20 houses max, and it's really chill. Like right now, like it's dead quiet here. You know,
Yeah.
there's no traffic. The A1A is a couple 100 feet from me, but like you can't even hear traffic there. It's not. This is a sleepy little beach town. So I got somebody backstage here. Oh, Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson.
Yo, Tony.
The party's
What's up?
about to start, huh?
Almost, man. You guys, I was listening to y'all talk. What's up, Blex again?
How's it
I
going,
remember
Woody?
him. I remember him from back in the days. Originally from Now Smash TV.
Yeah, Woody, I'm pretty sure. I think we both got on that panel around the same, like either on the same week or a week between each other. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
me, you, and Kadoosh Bagger. I think
Yep.
he still got there like around the same
Yeah.
time. He said I think a month before or
Yeah, he was
something.
there first,
Yeah.
probably.
I was like literally the first time I actually ever jumped on a panel. I was just in the beginning. You're scared shitless. You're shitting your pants. You're like, oh God. Like I'm actually talking. I'm on the interwebs. And I gotta talk. There's people listening, other than like, your few group of friends that you usually converse with. So yeah, but no, it's
Now
been
look
awesome
at you.
since then.
Now look at you. I've seen you
I
in
know, right?
spaces like I've seen you like in some of the spaces I would never expect too. Because I'd be looking at some of
Uh,
these panels in different sectors and
hmm
stuff. I'm like, hey, there's Woody.
Yeah,
Well,
I gotta
Woody's
catch your shows too, cause I think I saw you on Flow State, I think, and
Probably, yeah, probably. I
yeah,
only went there
on
one
John
time.
Galt's.
John Galt, yeah.
Yep, John
Uh,
Galt too.
I think Tony would like John Galt a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
They're
saw
both.
yeah.
I saw him in the chat.
Oh, you
Yep,
did
I,
see
I
it.
emailed it. I emailed the show to everybody, including John. John,
Mhm.
John is a very is a well balanced dude. I do
The
like
urban
John. He's
landlord.
pretty cool.
The
Yep,
urban
the
landlord.
urban John Galt, the
Yeah.
urban landlord. Yep,
Mhm.
kind of similar to Tony. You're
Yeah,
very
for
balanced, very
sure.
reasonable.
Well, I'm not being
Yeah.
reasonable right now though, but because we
Yeah,
have
I
another
mean you're not. Yeah,
we,
you lost your mind. You're burning money now.
we have another
Look at this guy.
We have another one that's going in the fire.
Oh shit!
This is Nightmare on Sperm Street. We already burned 48 Laws of Dating. And we got one more, too. So we're going to put this one right in there. And you'll probably see, like, the devil come out of the flames on that one.
Oh shit! Somebody should clip this and send it to MD. He would be seething. He would start
Woody,
going off the wall.
you don't think somebody's not gonna do that, bro? It's been a year since
Yep.
Tony has streamed live, so
That's all right.
Ninja
Well,
Watchers, Ninja Watch it.
well,
You ever go back?
we got one more.
No,
We got
no,
one
Woody.
more coming up. I don't know if you can see
Oh
that.
shit!
There it is.
Oh yep, I see it. Yep.
That's the next
The
one.
grandiose black pill. You gonna put them together? You gonna burn them together?
Well, I just threw in Nightmare on Sperm Street, and I'm hoping
Okay.
I don't get pregnant from it, from the flames.
Oh shit, Tony! I could see this Italian Chad who wrote the book in the fires over there. You better watch out, Tony. Oh shit! Look at the fire. It's getting bigger.
Look at. I purchased them, and they're mine. I can do what I want with them.
This is destroying intellectual property. I should fine you for that.
Well, all's fair.
And burning my own shit. Listen, man, I wasn't. I have to prepare, right? I wasn't even gonna come on other than listening, but you know you have to come on with Tony. You know, after so long, he starts up a stream. And I saw it. I'm like, oh shit, you know. And good to see you too. You know, because I seen your channel. It's like, but I gotta listen to your previous streams because you recently started streaming too, which is good. You know,
it's been a year. It's been a year. I just counted all the streams. I've done 148 live streams this year.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Recently, your streaming's been popping up on at least on my end. You know, I could remember maybe 3-something months ago, which is good. You know, so yeah. Do you have 2 channels or 1 channel?
I have 3, but I mainly post from this one. NPC
all right,
the game.
I was gonna say because on the last channel, on the last stream that we were talking about, I was seeing comments that I didn't see in the channel I was on.
Yeah, it was whatchamacallit. I'm simulcasting, but this is my main channel right now.
Okay.
This channel's small. Like I just got 300 subs, but it has over 200,000 views on it already. So I mean, this is
pretty good.
We're always on this one.
Link your most, I guess the most active channel in the back.
I put that video. I put the Tony was talking about an interview because my wife came on my stream on our anniversary. I put the video in the back for Tony and Woody. So you can
I just came so I can.
Like that.
Yeah, I can't see the message. Yeah, because I think it doesn't show the message until you pop on, you know, or anything from before. That's why. Yeah, I think that's what StreamYard does. Yeah, because when I I guess log off or then come back on. Yeah, there you go. Most of the messages are gone.
Yeah, I miss talking to you too, Woody, because it's always at a party. It's always exciting when you're around.
Definitely, you know. Yeah. I like following. Go ahead, Tony.
Main rabble rouser, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I like following culture.
Woody can stir the pot better than anybody.
I try to at least. Guys, like I like following cultures, you know, and then people, and I do say hello to whenever I do see somebody from back in the day, you know. And I see a lot of
gentleman,
people in
that's
chat
why.
too. Hell yeah, you know, you gotta, you know, say hello, good evening, good morning, you know, whatever it is. I think when you left the time when because you know sometimes on John Goltz, it's like sometimes I would be listening, but then I saw you, and then because I played it on 2 times the speed. That's how I usually listen. You know, I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on. You know, so that's when I saw you on John Goltz and Flow State. I think I was going to bed. And I think it was pretty late when I saw you, but it's good to see you. I got your channel, so I'm
we're locked in.
Yeah,
huh? Cool.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, man, you know what's a good way to get subs, and I've gained a ton of subs, even though I haven't done anything. It's just guys come for the beard trim videos that are being watched like every second of every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do a how-to video on something.
Okay.
And, I never thought when I would do how to shape a goatee, how to trim a goatee, Van Dyke beard, I didn't think anybody would watch those. They all have like, I think 150,000. One has
Wow.
170,000. I think the other one has like 100,000. But they come for the beard trim and stay for the other content.
Right. Yeah. Cause thanks for the advice because it's kind of like I'm sure how to tie a tie are big videos too because like beard trimming and goatee trimming and tying that's something that a lot of guys never learned how to do because let's be real, they didn't have a dad in their life or someone to show them. So
Yeah,
people
absolutely. I mean,
want to learn how to do that.
Those are my best comments when you get a young guy said, "Thanks, Dad. I never had anybody to show me this." And those are the ones that mean the most to me, right there. Like, thanks, Dad. Nobody showed me this. My dad left
Thanks, Tony.
when I was 17. But those hit you like a heart punch, man.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
they really do.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go to the barbershop, take my son. I'm gonna try to I'll pop back in if you're still on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, find a how-to video, man. Do something that you do, and how to, there's certain catchphrases you can use, which is the truth about or how to. Those are big. That's what people search.
I'll write that down. Truth about and how to.
Yeah. Yeah, the truth about this, or how to whatever, something that you do well, and I think the key is don't make them long videos. 5 to 10 minutes max, because people's attention spans are short.
Ooh, how to be an NPC in the game.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I mean? And then, like to make a little extra cash, I got Amazon pays me every month because I have the beard trimmers in there and beard wax and all sorts of other stuff. And, become an Amazon associate, which is no big deal. You just sign up for it. It's Amazon affiliate. I recommend people calling, and you can call and you'll get a good coach on there and they'll tell you what to do. And then you just collect money at the end of the month, every month.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I'll
put this in the back real quick. There are affiliates and sponsorships. People looking for the smaller channels or medium channels to sponsor. I put the link. There's like 1,000 different companies, Tony.
Yeah.
So I put that in the back chat for you.
I mean, stuff
or Woody,
like,
if you have your channel.
I don't.
Like
this is my channel.
Like Tactical Soap.
Panel surfing.
Grondike Soap Company. He pays me all the time.
Yeah, I was talking to Glenn Lawrence the other day in the Discord, and I think that's one of his sponsors too.
Yeah, and they pay well, dude.
Yeah.
He pays 25% of sales.
Okay.
Amazon don't pay that, Yeah. But Amazon will give you certain, I always get these things to where it's like, all right, we're going to pay you a flat fee. We're going to set you in this program for a month. And so then they'll take something you would have got 5% on. Now you get 10% on, I've got one of my beard trimmers on there that pays $35 to me when somebody buys it,
Fuck yeah.
So it's just, you don't do anything except put the video out there and drop the links in there. And, there's a couple other secrets I'll tell you backstage or privately about it.
Yeah.
But, it's and people say, oh, it's not a lot, but you add that up, I'll take, whatever every month. I don't care, so.
Absolutely. I'm all about stacking.
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%. It's the most passive income there is. So.
How to get out of a trap forever. Leave the
You seen
Matrix.
that?
How to get out of the Matrix. Yep. How to
No, that's
live from Taiwan and out of the trap forever.
Woody. I actually made a video game with my friends, so that's why it's called NPC the game. There we go. I'll talk to you
Okay,
about it
nice.
next if you come by. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I'll
yeah,
try to catch it
yeah,
next time.
yeah.
That's good, man. Yeah,
All right,
I'll see
man.
you later. I know you gotta go, so take care, bud.
You too, Woody. Be well.
Thanks for
All right,
coming on.
Tony.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good
Absolutely.
talk.
Thanks for the link.
Yeah,
Much love, Tony. You and your family, bro.
thank you, bro. Good talking
Yeah,
with you. Thank you.
this is Tony Bruno, a true legend. Give him his flowers now, people.
Tony the legend.
Tony, bro. Peace, guys.
Take care,
See
bud.
ya. Uh-oh, it's me and Woody the rabble rouser.
Yes, I saw QB's lengthy, hair maxed, koala maxed, looking self. Skinny Mr. QB Skinny Maxon, starving Maxing. He went on and got a beating on Smash TV. They actually lived up to the name and smashed him. I'm like, what? I was thinking, like, why are you over here? You can't get a word in. All the other Spurgs, and the Inkwells. They're just jumping over backwards. Oh, hey, let me say this, let me say that. I'm like, who gives a fuck? If you do think about it, QB is actually living his best life. Meanwhile, they're still pontificating on the same theories from like however fucking long. I left most of the older spaces, and I'm kind of getting into, I guess, newer stuff, and eventually I kind of move on from that. So it's like few people that you kind of still stay connected to, like such as yourself. So it's like, I'm like, I can't wrap my mind around. It's like, how can you move forward in life other than just, it's like they're, Chihuahua and this and like, I'm like, doesn't fucking make any sense. How long or how, and you just left, you're like, I'm out. I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna kind of, go back to, things that I have in life in IRL, in real life matters.
Yeah.
And there's still, I just can't fathom. Like, I learned everything from that space. I'm not shitting on the space. Another thing with you, Tony, why are you shitting on the manosphere? It has taught so many young men, regardless
I'm
if it's
not.
left or right.
I'm not, but I think that it's a place where guys need to come and then go. Get what you need, leave.
Correct. You're
That's it.
right, and you were a big part of it for a long
But
while
they
too.
don't do that. They don't do that.
Well, I mean, you can't control people.
No.
To an extent, I even think, look, there is a population, Tony. If it's like few of us guys, like if we kind of figured this the what is it, the WQ, right? There's a JQ, the Jewish question, that there's a WQ, the woman question. Like, yeah, most of the guys kind of have figured it out, and I've learned a lot of things too from different groups of communities and etc. Even the black pill. But it's like I kind of moved on. It's like I got everything, and moved on from the manosphere.
And,
But
and
it's
that's
like,
exactly what you're supposed to do.
yeah, but you're not supposed to shit on the group. There's goods and there's a ugly and the good in every group. And you just take whatever you can and you leave.
I think its time has come. I think it's become stale. It's just not, I don't know.
It still is kind of staying relevant because people who are the faces or are getting bigger, going into talking about different subjects. Like Dan Bilzerian, right? He was talking about the Jews, on Pierce Morgan, and it's like there's always another revenue where you can get views and attention, and I'm kind of thinking, these guys, that's how they kind of go back to finding their older content when Tate was on Fresh and Fit. Even you met him at a few different settings. It's like, so people go back and they look up. Essentially, where you also know this, but it started with people just sharing their experiences and knowledge, and then it grew up to kind of something. But there's like
The
bad
the
and good
issue I,
community in
the
every fucking
issue I
thing.
have with it is too many of these channels are binary. It's my way or no way. This is the way
Hmm.
it is, but that's not real life. It's not real life.
Tony, I see. like okay, I'm not going to make this like the pivot point in my life, but I see majority of the world they use and abuse and dispose of men.
Yeah.
So I actively try to like I know you. You know what I mean? It's just me talking right now. It's not even me attacking you because I know you. You're that person that is supportive to your fellow brethrens, and in life. You're not that type of guy. But it's like I try to pivot away from anything that is kind of shitting on men in general because everybody kind of already does that so much so, and a lot of younger generations are waking up. They don't want to be cannon fodders. They don't want to go die in frivolous wars. They don't want to fight for people who wouldn't fight for you, which I think is a better turn. And I generally think that people like Pearl or Better Bachelors, he's kind of turning another side, a different route. I think by the titles of his videos, I could see like he's kind of going towards the harder side of things, even on YouTube. But just by the titles, I haven't. It's been a while since I've seen any of his videos. But that's what I kind of go by. I'm glad that these guys, the faces of it, the Myron Gaines, he's getting popular out there too, especially in Twitter Spaces. I would prefer this sector, regardless of what faces it is, if it's a better message to kind of go on and go further as far as it can. That's what I kind of generally think.
Yeah, I understand. I just think there's too many ideologies that there
Yeah.
too many. It's this way when it comes to
Yeah.
dating. Oh, it's this way, and if you don't follow me, you're an asshole, or you're gay,
Right.
you're this, or you're that. It's like, no, different things work for different folks. It's just a fact, you know.
Right, exactly. Because I have changed, it's been a while and going into different groups and like I told you about dating coaches, it's kind of I kind of like everybody got to make a buck. It's like
Yeah,
it's one of those MD's quotes, that I heard at least I got from him is like a fool and his money shall soon be departed.
yeah.
I'm sure it's not from him, but it's from somebody else, but uh, he was the first person that I heard it from,
I think it was
and
Ben.
it's like, go ahead.
I think it was Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin. Okay, okay, there you go. Uh, so speaking of Ben Franklin, I went through his documentary too not too long ago. I'm kind of going through different type of books, to expand my knowledge. But it's like online, it's there's so much junk and education. In a way, it's like a mix, that people have found that it's very entertaining and it's kind of hard to lose sometimes. But I think I'm trying to force myself to go to core of information, basically go to the documentaries, go to, try to take out some time for reading. Even if I don't, try to listen to, autobiographies, books on audiobooks, because I'm generally always moving. I'm always on the run. It's like, but but shit, I lost the topic. Well, I lost the thing I was gonna go back to. I drove myself into the wall. Goddamn. The wall is undefeated, Tony.
Yeah,
But I guess yeah. Generally, I tend not to shit on men because, and it's I kind of feel like that. And again, it's not to you, because I know you. You know what I mean. But I do find the opportunity
I just think
not
people.
to.
I just think these a lot of these content creators need to be honest with themselves before they can be honest with anybody else.
Mhm.
That's my opinion on that whole scene.
Yeah, but they won't. Everybody. It's like you find a need to fulfill, and you try to do that, and the need in men to get a female would probably never go away. That is what powers probably all of the world and probably the universe. I understand that. But I guess guys they are kind of waking up to a bitter reality that there's a different types of love. Men have different types of love, and the other gender has different types of love. But understanding it and then kind of navigating accordingly, I think is I think overall, if they do spread, like the manosphere overall does spread out, I think it's for the positive. And I get your point. I see bad and ugly or good or evil in all communities. That's what I at least see. I've seen so many communities go from nothing. Yeah, I'm like the ancient. because of online, the ancient ones, the one with the wisdoms. That's what I feel like sometimes, because I've seen so many communities from start, they rise, they get popular, and then they fall. When their falling is doxing their closer members,
Yeah.
or losing their core, what they originally got the fans for, and then they start. It's like a downshift, just going down the slope from off the mountain,
Right.
and it's horrible.
I think the manosphere has lost rational conversation. That's what I think. It's built on ideologies and followings and cult followings. People can say, "Oh,
Mhm.
don't use the cult word." No, that's what it's called. Sorry, you know.
Well, anything could be considered a cult, right? When you got a leader, and even if it's not to the word cult over here, back in the day from Jim Jones and I forgot the other white guy's name. He went crazy. He was locked up. It's like, but to an extent, yeah, it is a cult. But I think everybody should have the freedom to waste their money or follow or make better decisions. Like, because it's like,
You want to see men improve, okay? And,
exactly.
and when you're holding people hostage with an ideology, that's where I have a problem.
Hmm.
Like I say, binary thinking is what I
Yeah.
think a lot of it is. You know,
Give me
oh
a
the
second. I gotta get some more. I'm listening. I gotta get some more to
oh,
drink.
oh the black pill, blah blah blah. Like everything in the black pill is not correct. Sorry, you know, and it's not doesn't have to do with outliers. I think there's just certain things that I think when a guy genuinely needs help, he needs to discern who can actually help him. And I think that to me, that's what I see the issue is, you know. So, and I have no problem with people making a living. I have no issue with that at all. I hope everybody's enjoying my fire tonight because I know I am.
All right. So I think because you have aged, right? You are closer to your elder age. It's like you're. I think it's like to an extent. I can't be the arbiter of truth or justification. You're probably closer to it. You know. So I can kind of I do see your points. I can try to understand at least as much as I can. You know. And in the end, we can't really stop anything. We could just kind of, you know, it's like I guess one of the recent stats that I got aware of was that 45% of kids are around 45% of kids are being born to single parents.
Yep.
You know, and I'm thinking generally it's mothers who get the custody. It's going to be going towards some mothers, and I don't know if people, because like you and me, you still take care of your father. You're still connected with your father and your brother. Me too. I have family members. I have elders that I can still, and I do that. I talk to them about if I had an issue. I even use different family members for different reasons. I'm a manipulator. I spin plates. I spin plates. I game I game the judges. Hey Daniel, I'm
Hey,
almost
Woody.
done. Then go ahead.
Oh no, you're
Hey,
fine.
Daniel's a cool
here,
buddy too.
can you see that, Woody?
Uh oh shit, I see it.
Well,
The
say
black
goodbye.
pill. Oh shit. Oh, Tony. How dare you, Tony?
Hey,
Book
like I
burning.
said, I purchased it and it makes great kindling. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Woody, I've been wanting to do
Damn.
this for about a year and a half, okay?
Okay. Or saving it for a special occasion.
Yeah,
It's like,
there was just a stack of shit that was going in the garbage, and I'm like, yeah, let's just burn.
right, right. I get it. It's like saving a special bottle for a special occasion.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a ceremony. It's like it's a form of letting go to me.
Hmm.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So,
Uh, uh, I guess let me
and
let me
somebody
finish
could
on.
you could take it as an insult. I don't care. I really don't.
It kind of is, but I mean, it's like you do what you think is best.
Yeah.
You made an investment, and now you're burning. You're making a statement. You're enjoying the burnings, the book burnings. This will go down in histories, in the history book. Tony. Okay,
First of
Tony.
all, there's not too many guys that have enough balls to do that. That's the first thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's not making a statement. I'm just like, I took a lot of shit from that fucking loser, and I
I
mean
get
a
it.
loser. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Guy's a
yeah,
loser.
yeah.
So this is what
And
I
I
think
can't.
of him and his shit that he gave me, and he's just a phony. That's all, plain and simple. And I want nothing to do with him. You know,
I get it, Tony, and I saw everything, and I didn't like the separation, the breaking of communities, but but you didn't start this,
we didn't
so
fall
I
into
do.
line, Woody. If you don't fall into line, that's what you get. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
conform, and I don't fall into anybody's fucking line. You know
It's not even that. Just build bridges, build connections. You
exactly.
know, it's like you remember what Schiff says? What Schiff used to say. He's still around. I see him sometimes.
Yeah,
It's like if you're a net positive, that's what really matters. And I heard that same similar quote from somebody else. If you agree with somebody above a 50%,
I've
if you
said
guys have
that
a
for the longest time, man. I've said that for the longest time.
exactly.
I look at net positive.
Exactly, because you and I are not going to agree on everything, but as long as the main issues, or if you have an agreement
If
that's
you have
above
disagreement,
50%.
if you have a disagreement with somebody, you don't dox them. Just like that loser tried to dox me, put up my phone
Hmm.
number and QB's phone number. Although I was a lot smarter because I used a burner number, so it
Yeah,
wasn't.
you were 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, I'm not fucking stupid.
Mm.
You
I
know.
remember the strategy. You don't just use that on girls. You use that on everybody.
Yeah. Like, what possible fucking reason would I give you my phone number? You know.
Hmm.
Yeah, I give you a phone number. It's called a burner number.
Hmm.
You know.
With everything, it takes time to trust. You know. Let me finish what I was saying, Tony. Uh, so generally, especially if you think about the Middle Eastern culture, we go to our elders. We go to our parents to first and ask and acquire their wisdom when there's a problem. Instead of a lot of even times going online, the parents are always there. Generally it's a nuclear family system. Regardless of what they think, or it's just it is. You got your uncles, you got your grandparents if they're still alive, and discussing these topics. That's like it solves a lot of your problems in life. But I see the Westerners, they don't have that privilege, which kind of sucks. But Daniel, I don't want to go on for too long. So go ahead. What do you think if you want to discuss anything?
I just wanted to come drop by really quick, say hello. Good to see you, Tony. Good to see you, Woody. Hope you guys
Yeah.
have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
You too,
Thanks for
buddy.
coming on, man. I appreciate it, and I
Yes,
hope your
sir.
channel. I hope your channel grows, man.
Thank you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working towards it. I'm working on 3 clips right now for I'm working on, and then I might do some streams eventually later on, just for some behind the scenes stuff.
Did I
Because
see
people,
you do some martial arts? Correct.
correct. I'm a martial artist, so
Nice.
Yeah,
thank
Nice.
you.
he's dangerous, Tony. He looks like a little brother, but he's dangerous, Tony.
Me too. So I've done judo for many years.
Judo's great.
Yeah, that's
I do
been.
taekwondo.
Oh, nice, nice. My best friend, growing up, he is and but he's a taekwondo master. He's trained people for the Olympics. So,
That's so cool.
yep, yep.
What belt is he? Just because I'm first degree black belt. I'm working towards my second.
Oh, he's a master, so I don't know what that is.
Okay, so he's probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah, he's way up there. He's had a bunch of schools, and he's
Good for him.
trained. He's trained many.
Wait,
many.
George, or is it another? Is the other brother?
It's my best friend I grew up with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he had a lot of schools in the Northeast, and he was definitely top level for sure. So I don't want to say his name.
Tony, you competed too, in Taekwondo.
No, judo. Yeah.
Judo. Yeah, you were showing off your belts. You competed in tournaments and stuff. I think it. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, I went about as far as you could go, man. I was that's when I shattered my collarbone is training after I come off 2 big tournaments with medals, and then I was training actually for the US Open. And that's when I shattered my collarbone in a million pieces about 10 years ago. So that kind of ended my competitive career. And it was tough, man, because I last time I trained was probably a year and a half ago. And during the whole scamdemic pandemic, I trained quite a bit with some guys. So, but it's judo is a brutal sport. People have no idea how rough it is until you do it. The turnover rate is huge. And there's less and less judo schools. So I know Joe Rogan, he has a lot of respect for judo guys. He talks about it frequently.
Yeah.
He'll have a guy that'll just take you and just throw you like you're not even there. I put one clip on where he says, these judo guys have chimp strength, he called it. So,
Well, you are a chimp, Tony.
Yep, I am. But
that in Muay Thai is pretty brutal too.
Oh yeah. No, I trained Muay Thai with actually one of my coaches. We used to after class. He was big time into Muay Thai, and he was my coach. And we would pad up and go at each other. Actually, I couldn't say I went at him because he's like 6'3", about probably 250 to 275, and he competed in strongman contests. So, but yeah, it was fun sparring with him. You have no idea. I couldn't even hold the pads for him. I used to double up the pads, and I'd still have bruises on my thighs from him kicking so hard.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's it. I did a lot of cross training and different things. It was always fun.
Yeah, and if it's big guys, like they're fucking humongous.
Yeah.
It's like because I'm not that big, but I competed, in the amateur leagues, like one of those state competitions. But yeah, if it's bigger guys, they're fucking huge.
Yeah. What's funny is I went to go see him at it's called the Europa. It's in Orlando. It's all sorts of things. It's martial arts. It's strongman competition. There's judo competition. There's everything. I got to meet a lot of really cool guys from American Top Team. But I went to go see my buddy, my coach, compete in strongman. And I'm up in the stands, and I know like Elliot Hulse was there. I didn't know Elliot back then, but I remember asking his wife, like, which one is he? Where is he? And she says to me, he's that little pipsqueak right there. And dude, at like 6'3", 250, he looked small compared to those guys.
Damn, Elliot is 6'3"?
Huh?
No, I thought he was short. I didn't know Elliot was 6'3".
Not Elliot. This is my coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, where is he? Where's John? She said, that's him right there. And I'm like, and looking down, you're like, some of these dudes there were like, they're in the 300s and 400s. And they're like 6'8", 6'7", 6'10". These guys are monsters. He looks small compared to these guys, which was crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Eddie Hall is like he is the strongest man in the world, but he's like I think six something. I think he's like six, around six. But it's like yeah, but when other guys stand next to him, like they look even bigger.
yeah. Yeah, there's that one of the guys there is like, I think he was 425 pounds. I mean, you know,
Mm.
do you know the guy, the mountain from Game of Thrones?
Yeah. It's like Thor. I forgot his name. He goes
Yeah,
by something. Uh, I forgot. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
that guy's huge.
Yeah, he's like 6'8".
Yeah,
Isn't Jason Momoa around 6'8" or around that height? I know he's pretty huge.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, you
He's a
look at him
goddamn Samoan.
on Game of Thrones. You look at him, and he's a giant. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, these guys are fucking humongous. Let me look up his name. God damn it. They call him the Thor of powerlifting. Thor. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, Thor. I think that is his name. Thor half Thor Bjornsson. Yeah, half Thor Bjornsson. I think that's how they pronounce it if I remember correctly. Half Thor Bjornsson. It's like you can't be Thor, but you're half Thor. Yeah, but that guy, I think that guy, he beat the deadlift record for of Eddie Hall. You know, I think a year later when Eddie Hall got it, I think it was like 2 3 years ago, and then he broke that record a year later. You know, and there was a few bodybuilders. They were at that gym when they recorded it. You know, all of them goddamn yelling and fucking screaming. It's like you got more testosterone just from watching the video.
Yeah, I remember growing up watching World's Strongest Men.
Mm,
Used to be on Wide World of Sports.
yeah, that's what kind of got me started. I'm like, man, I want to do that one day. You know, one day I want to at least do something with that. I prefer to be in the sport, if anything, than just be the viewer of it. You know, it's nice viewing it, but it's like it teaches you a lot of lessons being in it. You know, like it's like I think all three of us like did something competitive. You know, I think which matters.
Yeah.
Just being in some sort of sport is which is like you know you guys are you know the martial arts in the martial arts field. You know, I'm not doing powerlifting anymore, but it's like you know after high school it was something fun. It took a lot, but it was something fun to do.
You know, one of the things that I learned from getting a major injury is that I used to look at, you know, you'd have your favorite professional athlete, didn't care if it was a football player, baseball player, whatever, and they'd get an injury and they'd be out for, you know, they say he's going to be out for a year. And you're like, oh, how can that be? Well, I found out
Hmm.
how that can be. You know,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
so, but they rebuilt me better and stronger. So,
That's the
but
main thing.
I can tell you that when I came back, I was not the same. It just, there was a mental block and you find yourself guarding your injury, you know.
Yeah.
You know, of course, I don't have the, you know, the trainers and things like that that professional athletes have, but I did find out why it's so difficult to come back, you know. And I think most of it
Mm.
is mental, you know, because
Yeah.
that was a sport that I loved. It just, I fell in love with it from the day I started. And, you know, you become a machine and it becomes like part of you. And that's all you want to do is train. You just want to get better and better, you know. And I recommend anybody that if you are in any type of sport, martial arts or like powerlifting, compete, man. You know,
Mhm.
it's just you know, you don't have to win every one, you know. I never got a gold medal, which bothered me, you know. got a rack of silvers, a rack of bronze. You know, I've got a bronze medal in a huge Florida competition, and a silver medal in a huge competition. You know, which to me it didn't, you know, but the gold just, you know, it evaded me. Let's put it that way. You know,
Did you ever get gold though?
no, no,
Mm.
no.
Well, you tried. You tried. You know.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I competed at a high level. You know,
Mm-hmm.
to be on a podium in any of these competitions was, you know, it was a big deal. So
Exactly. I mean, you competed a lot. I just competed 2 times,
yeah,
and I know the struggle. It's like, working full time, also kind of being in school and doing this. It consumed everything, for
yeah,
the 2 years that I was training. And I understand the athletes. Like you wouldn't understand until you kind of go through it, because you don't understand that all of your time, all of your eating, it just goes to that, and everything else kind of becomes, it's on autopilot. Yeah, if you have that goal, I mean, it's good to learn to have that much focus. You kind of have you gotta kind of gain the tool in yourself, from working on that. It's like when Daniel, if he, like, getting a black belt is not easy. I never heard anybody say that black belt getting was easy.
No,
I'm
it's
sure,
not
but
easy
it's
at
like,
all.
exactly, because most people have like blue belts or white belts, but it's like, even a few times that I would come across somebody who would be an actual black belt in anything, any type of martial arts. So it's like, it does take a lot. After that, once you're kind of into it a few years later, and if you're still going at it, that's when it kind of becomes like one of your regular daily hobbies.
Yeah,
Not
like
hobbies,
because
but duties.
I work out almost every day, but it's a lot of people quit sometimes even after a yellow belt. It's just they realize it's not for them, and they don't want to keep going.
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. I
At least
mean,
that's what I've noticed. They'll quit even after that, or they'll go and just not return.
it probably took me, and that's legitimate in, I know in judo and jujitsu, but to get a brown belt, it does take 6 or 7 years minimum.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then realistically, I don't know, oh, probably close to 12 years for a black belt for me. So, which is called a
Mm.
shodan in judo. So,
Damn. That's a long time.
But it's worth it. It's a big accomplishment. You know.
yeah, it is, and there are belt schools. They got schools around here. I know there's taekwondo schools where I know guys who've got their black belts after like 2 years, and I'm like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
But it's a belt. It's a when you know somebody who's in the business, what they do is they have to. If they don't promote you, you don't come anymore, and you don't pay your dues. You don't pay the school anymore, and
Mm.
I don't. It's not necessarily right, you know. Um, I've trained with a lot of guys to prep them for tournaments that have been, like a brown belt, but's never been in a competition. You have no idea what you're in for, you know. It's and you got to it's called randori, which is full speed sparring. You have to do that, you know. So I would cross train at different schools. So
Yeah, it's everybody loves the athlete, but nobody wants to go on a journey to become an athlete.
yeah,
Yeah,
Plus, I
and
don't
nobody
realize the
will.
mental, like it's all besides being physical. Obviously, it takes a mental toll on you too. You got to have to be mentally
Mm.
ready for it because it tests you and everything.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
you
I'm not
just
sure
gotta
if I
keep.
made sense
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You gotta keep pushing. And sometimes you don't even want to do it, but you just have to. It's a duty to accomplish a goal.
I remember one of my competitions, one of the ones my mom and dad came to, and I dropped down to seniors because I was in masters. You can drop down, you can't go up. Like a senior senior, is basically 17 to 30. You can't go and compete in masters. It's you know what I mean. But master can compete in with the younger guys, and it was like the match was so good, and this dude was pretty good, and he was probably, I think he was like 19, and I didn't quite know. I thought I won, and so you fix yourself up, go stand to the line, you come to the middle, and then he raised my hand, and I'm like, it was so cool because we both really tried to drop each other within the last couple seconds, and we both hit the mat. You know what I mean? So I never looked at like the points or anything. And when he raised my hand, I was so stoked. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I dropped down. Here I am, 40, Jesus, probably 45. And I just beat this 19-year-old who was really good. So I was stoked.
That's an accomplishment itself.
Yeah.
It's being 19. You got so much testosterone running through you. Got so much energy that you could power our son with that.
The one thing I liked about judo is the sportsmanship was really important. There was no. They really emphasized sportsmanship. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
No
discipline.
Yeah, no getting angry, nothing like that. And if you did, or if you did something, you were just gone. You were disqualified. So, but
yeah,
I've had a couple times where you go and look at the pairing because you weigh in on Friday night and Saturday is the competition, and I'm looking at the pairings, and I'm looking and I see me, and I'm like, okay. And this guy comes over to me and he says, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Damn it." He goes, "I was hoping that wasn't you." I used to a Yodon is a 4th degree, and there's this one instructor in Masters that me and him had a couple battles, and I beat him every time. And he was really cool, but he said, every time I'm in a match with you, I end up on my back.
Get it personal.
I've got a great video of me just dropping him real hard, and the guy was really good, But it was cool. It was cool to, when you start later in life. I started when I was 40 years old, So when you start later in life, my first competition, I was a white belt, and I'm my matches are with black belts. So I got my judo baptism by fire. Let's just put it that way.
Which is good. You always want to kick above your weight.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. The thing is, like, I remember down in West Palm Beach, and the girl I was dating, she came to one of my competitions, and we spent the weekend down there, and we went out to, it was Morton's Steakhouse. She took me out to after. And when the waitress came up, she looked at me. She's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" She goes, "Were you in a car wreck?" And I'm like, "No." So, you got gi burns, and you're all like, I had like a black eye, and you know what I mean? Just all beat up. I think I got pictures of me on Instagram with the gi on. I have a smile. I got my mouth guard in, and it's when I punctured my nose, like the cartilage came through, and there's blood pouring down out of my nose into my mouth, and somebody caught a picture with a real good camera, and I got like a smile on my face.
What the? Brutal.
It's a great picture. There's a couple of them, but I got like a smirk, but I'm you can see like the hole in the side of my nose, and the blood coming down my nose and the side of the nose. So, yeah, that hurt a
Over.
little. That hurt a little.
Yeah, you got a robotic shoulder out of it now.
Yeah, titanium. So, and
Hey, Tony.
I've never had any issues with it. It's just that my whole shoulder from like the top of your pec up around the collarbone and then kind of like the front of the shoulder is completely numb. There is no, you could stick a needle in there, I wouldn't feel it. So
Mm,
the nerves are just not there.
mm.
But yeah,
At
those were
least your
good times.
hand is functional.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, those were good times though. You know,
Mm.
if you ever break your collarbone, it's an extremely painful injury.
I could imagine. I don't want. I don't want any of it. I pulled one of the muscles in the back, and it didn't go away for a whole month. You
Yeah.
know, so I could just imagine, anything happening to the bone, and it would be excruciating.
Well, it's comparable to like if you know what a tie rod is on a car for your front tie
Yeah.
rod steering. There's not a lot. Only takes like 8-10 pounds of pressure to break the collarbone, and
Mm.
um, basically what happens is like when I took my gi off, my arm on my right side hung past my knee. My hand was
Mm.
past my knee standing.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like a tie rod. When your tie rod breaks on your front end of your car, the wheel just goes any other way. So, and then
Wow.
because I thought I dislocated my shoulder, although the pain was pretty bad, and that's on video too. So, and you could see me stomp my foot on the ground. I'm like, oh damn, that hurt. And then when I got up, then immediately right to the emergency room. So. And then they couldn't operate on. I did it on a Friday night, and they couldn't operate on me until Tuesday morning because of swelling and stuff. And they were afraid I couldn't move. They were afraid I was going to puncture my lung because it wasn't fractured. It was broken, and another piece, like an inch piece in the middle, was gone and broken, and that was broken in half again. So it was completely shattered.
Mm.
So they're afraid I was going to puncture my lung or my carotid artery. I guess carotid artery, is that what it's called? Yeah. So good times.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where you're located, but I'm sure because they were afraid, they don't want you to die.
Yeah.
From puncturing anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Well, Tony, I gotta prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah.
When you come on after a while, I gotta holler at Tony Bruno.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
it's
appreciate it, and I'm going to go ahead and end anyways. Daniel, thanks for coming on.
Oh, it was a
And
pleasure, Tony. This was fun.
yeah, keep in touch, and everybody have a Merry Christmas. Woody Johnson, Woody Johnson and Johnson. That's funny. And I want to thank everybody who came in the chat. Peg Bell, good to see you too. Merry Christmas. Yeah, happy and healthy Christmas and New Year's to you too. So, but yeah, everybody that's been in the chat, man. Timmy Kramer. Let me go back here. Uncle Guns. Wish I had Uncle Guns on here tonight. Of course, Woody Johnson. Timmy Kramer, of course. But everybody there. Um, yeah, thanks for Gabe Blaxican coming on, man. It was good talking with him, and everybody else, of course, Bandit. And let me just go down here. I saw Michael Foster. Thanks for coming on. I see Caduce was in the chat. So yeah, it was a good time, man. It's been a long time. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it again sometime. But that's it, man. I appreciate everybody that came on. Daniel, I appreciate you coming on too.
Oh, my pleasure.
And
I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
You too, my brother. You take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, everybody. Have a good evening. Thanks for joining me.